This is Kate Baconsale. You're listening to Baconsale.
I like to rate apples and bananas. Oh, look to rote, opals and bananas. I like to write apples and bananas. Ooh, look to root, opals and bananas.
Where's the Y? It's the vowel song.
Y is not a vowel, it's a consonant.
I like to write.
Right. Fair dinkum.
Welcome to Baconsale. I'm Joel.
I'm Kent.
And I'm Zack.
I'd like to thank you for listening to our Tom Cruise episode last time.
Hey, we were called out for apparently doing the laugh wrong.
What?
What's the right laugh?
Nobody knows.
Is that crazier?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. But also, speaking of those comments, Crumpy Lady probably has one of my favorite, where she says, all right, calm down. I'm just going to say it. This is probably my favorite episode of all time because I love Tom Cruise. It's fine. I've loved him from the first time my little 12-year-old self saw Top Gun. It's ridiculous and unexplainable for many reasons, but mostly because he's 2 inches shorter than me, and we would have already been divorced 10 years ago. But shoot, dang, I can't help it. I'm a fan. Hand clap.
Wow.
Thanks, Rachel.
Right? Nicole D. Hale said, I was hoping for more on his Les Grossman character from Tropic Thunder.
We got called about
that
that
movie's
a couple
been
times.
canceled. It's okay. We probably can't talk about that.
It's a great character,
anymore.
though.
Just saying.
We're sorry.
But he is a great character. The first time I watched Tropic Thunder, I didn't realize it was him until the credits. And I think that's most people, right?
Yeah.
Like, that was Tom Cruise.
In that movie, he's like he's wearing a fat suit. He's got a bald cap on. Like he does not look like Tom
Super
Cruise.
crass.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
Super crass.
Jonathan Vasker says, Zachary Western.
In that tone?
When I think I like you, you go and say horrible things about American treasure Tom Cruise. I've seen nearly everything he's done, and he's fantastic. I think you need to watch more of his good films before shooting from the hip. Is he weird? Yes, most actors are. But he's great at doing his own stunts and picking roles.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. I absolutely am. I'm giving it an honest-to-goodness chance. And I've already rewatched Top Gun. And I'll tell you what.
Legend is next.
It's really good.
Okay.
Legend?
Yeah.
I'm told I have to watch The Outsiders. And
read the book.
Wait, you didn't watch Outsiders?
No.
I thought it
And
was required viewing in school.
Minority Report. And I got more on the way.
Would Zack be our pony boy?
He stays golden.
Yeah. He has
wish-
no idea what that means.
I wish I knew what you were saying. And finally, Todd Callan says, so far I'm really liking these episodes focusing on the filmography of just one actor. I'm looking forward to seeing who you guys cover next. I was hoping to hear what y'all thought about Oblivion. Did we talk about that one?
We did mention it, but it really is a great
Sci-fi casserole.
I had really low expectations going
it's
into
fine.
it and was pleasantly surprised, he says.
Such a good look. Like, honestly, the look of Oblivion, the way
It does
the
look
ships
cool.
look and the buildings, like everything, I'm like, this is really cool. So,
All right.
yeah, that's not
We had a lot of comments, but thank you all for participating.
Yes, we do. We love to hear comments. But that's not what we're talking about today. What are we talking about today, Zach?
You know, we're talking about all sorts of things in pop culture, music, movies, games, game shows, fruit. We're talking about fruit today.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. Like a food group.
Like fruit.
Like fruit.
This is the fruit.
Okay, guys, we've done sugary
Like Fruit
cereals.
Loops?
We've done candy.
Sodas.
The
Breakfast?
Hold on, though.
Moms of America have complained they want us to do a healthy episode about
4 to
fruit.
5 servings, actually.
Yes, we'll do our vegetable show down the road. This one
I
goes
can't
well.
wait for that vegetable
No,
show.
here's the thing. This may be the most controversial episode of the year. We haven't even recorded it, and I'm feeling that's going to be the case.
Well, because it's been referenced on the show before, that I'm not picky about many foods. I'm happy to try anything, except when it comes to fruit.
yeah, so you're picky.
And
about food.
I'm very picky when it comes to fruit, and I don't know why.
I mean, everyone has their taste, and that's fine, and that's what we're here to discuss.
Pineapple.
What? Oh, what? Oh, no.
No, but let's. I was going to say we decided to talk about this because we have a guest here in our studio.
Yay!
We'd like to welcome to the
Hey.
show,
Babs.
Hey, Baconsale guys.
Oh, that
sultry
sounds
at the beginning
nice.
there.
Wow.
So Babs,
Call us guys and not boys.
Babs,
I corrected in my brain as it was coming out of my mouth.
So I was going to say you were a patron for some time. We've owed you a show for some time. We're happy to have
This
you
is
here
true.
and finally let you redeem this show. And it's funny because your kind of two options you were bouncing between was a fruit episode, which we're doing here, and a Gilmore Girls episode, which
That
we did
is
just
true.
a couple times ago.
Yes, but Alicia did a brilliant job, and I am
did.
super proud of all of her opinions because they were correct.
And but since you're here on the show and since you're our guest and welcome,
Yes,
first of all,
hi.
we have some questions for you.
Yes, please.
First of all, before we get into the versus questions, I just want to ask, tell the listener a little bit about who you are
Yes.
and how you found Baconsale.
I think cat's out of the bag, guys. I am also Honey. And I...
No. If you
Dun, dun,
patreon.com/baconsale.
dun. I am married to Zachary over
Oh,
here.
that's a relief. I was like, who?
A little delay there.
Yeah.
Nervous.
Did I get married somewhere and I didn't know about it?
Although she does like Snyder, so I mean,
That's true.
So
it's an
much
option.
more than Zach.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So you and Zach are married. You got married last year.
we did. Yeah, we got married in October.
So you've been listening since season 1 of Baconsale, right?
Did season 1 start in 2020? Because
For some people.
I knew who you guys were. Actually, when Zach and I were friends several years ago, he wore a T-shirt that said Baconsale, and I remember saying, "What the heck is that?" And he said, "It's a podcast. It's called Baconsale because it's good."
That's what we say too.
It wears sunglasses.
So who knew? Who knew it would now be a part of our lives? But I started listening avidly once he joined the show during pandemic-ness and became a patron to support all of that going on.
And you got
I
one of the
know,
best benefits of all is one of our hands.
Yeah,
in there.
that was not listed on Patreon, y'all. I
There's
don't-
only one more of those perks available.
There was two for a hot minute there. There's
Yeah.
one. Yeah, it was funny when she canceled her Patreon. She said, "I've received my benefit I wanted," or whatever. It's like, yeah, you have. Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
I
we're
did.
very happy to have you here on the show. We
Thank
enjoy
you.
being around you in general. We have fun conversations off air, and I'm glad to get one of these conversations finally on air.
Thank you,
But we
John.
also have a series of questions for you.
I'm
We're gonna-
ready.
We're going to
Are
ask
you ready?
these as
I'm
quickly as
ready.
possible. We want you to answer as quickly as possible. There's no right or wrong answer except when there is. Either you
Yeah.
don't have a strong opinion, just shoot out an answer.
I know.
Okay.
I'm
Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
Here we go. Question 1. Which is better, Karate Kid or Karate Kid 2?
Karate Kid.
Yes, it is. Which is worse, Star Wars Episode 1 or Star Wars Episode 2?
Star Wars Episode 2.
Wow. Okay.
Do you rate movies using stars or letter grades?
Thumbs up.
Oh.
Between the
It's
two.
a different option.
Old school.
Then I'll say letter grade.
Oh, that feels like pity.
Which is the more America movie, Rocky 4 or Independence Day?
Independence Day.
Yes.
You can be wrong.
Is Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie?
Halloween. Ask
Okay.
my daughter. Oh,
Buffy or X-Files?
X-Files.
Okay. Lord of the Rings or Star Wars?
Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Okay. Which movie is more Christmassy, Die Hard or Lethal Weapon?
Die Hard.
Just don't know.
Wow.
Phantom of the Opera or Les Miserables?
Les Mis, please.
Okay.
Labyrinth,
And
a
thank you.
Never-Ending Story?
Labyrinth.
Yeah. And How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days or 10 Things I Hate About You?
10 Things I Hate About
Okay.
You.
Man, that always gets. I always think I'm going to take it for a bit, and then it goes Kent's way for a while. And it's
Yeah.
back to me. It's
I still think she's going to pick Zach as her favorite host. I don't know why.
maybe. They saw them kissing earlier.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Gross.
Creeper.
But Christy, why fruit? Why did you decide you wanted to talk about fruit?
To be honest, I've been looking forward to being on an episode of Baconsale for a while and talked to Kent and Zack at length about some options. And I wanted to be on a really fun, silly, good episode of
A very
Baconsale.
Baconsale idea.
Yeah,
Sure.
Let's be honest. She has strong opinions about fruit.
I do. Being a woman, being
Wait, what does that have to mean to
inherent.
I think
It's inherent.
I think our taste buds are more refined. Also, being a mother, fruit is a big thing that we use with children.
My wife is a huge fan of fruit.
Yes.
Grew up just picking stuff off the vines and eating it in her mom's garden, and she's a huge fan.
Yeah.
Huge fan. She's definitely a pickle.
What's your experience with fruit?
Well, since I'm a man, I buy my fruit from Haribo, obviously.
Exactly.
What does gender have to
You
do
have-
with fruit? It is the weirdest conversation.
Well, no, my third point is that I am very pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
So Zach and I are expecting a son in September. So I'm about 6 months pregnant, and I crave fruit so much when I am pregnant. And I could eat it for meals, and I do. And Zach literally has a tally going on for a specific kind of fruit.
We are 2 watermelons this summer. so
2.5.
2.5.
I had some more today.
Oh my gosh.
But I was going to say I do enjoy eating fruit as well. But let's bring it back here. As a man, I enjoy eating
Wait,
fruit.
Joel, you too? Shocker.
Yeah.
Wait, fruit's good.
But it's not a meal.
No,
It's not a meal. It's a
Yeah.
side dish. It's a dessert.
Oh, I
It's almost
disagree
a
with
dessert.
you.
you're at a barbecue and fruit is there and you're going to grab some.
You grab some grapes or something like that.
Right.
And that
No.
balances out all the meat you're eating.
You fill your plate with fruit, and you maybe eat a
That's
bite or two of
selfish.
hot
There's not
dogs.
enough strawberries to go around, okay?
Anyway, but I want to bring it back
You don't
here.
bring your own?
You bring your own strawberries?
BYOS, man.
Let's bring it back to what is a fruit. All right? I'm going to
Yes.
read some terms here.
Oh, you
from-
have Joel facts about fruit?
I have 11 pages of notes on fruit.
Joel, it's about fruit.
It is.
Come on, man.
No, but
come on.
I have some from the Wikipedia, the source of all knowledge and truth. In botany, a fruit is the seed-bearing structure in flowering plants that is formed from the ovary after flowering.
Wow, that makes me uncomfortable.
Guess what, Babs? I'd like to apologize. I would like to apologize.
Oh, because it's
It makes
women.
sense now.
It's
I
very
am so
feminine.
sorry.
What did you say that
Everyone.
Fruit
Women have a
is,
connection to fruit, man.
fruit is essentially a pregnant blossom.
That's
Cool.
now in common language, everyone. In common language, fruit normally means the seed-associated fleshy structures of plants that are typically sweet or sour and edible in the raw state.
Cool.
However, if you
Fleshy.
get scientific, that's what we're going to is kind of the common term of it. Because if you get scientific,
Sure.
then you're going to include stuff that's not normally considered fruits, like nuts, bean pods, corn
almonds?
kernels, tomatoes, wheat grains.
Avocados.
Those are all considered fruits, even though they're not common fruits.
Walnuts are fruit?
Yeah.
What? Say it for the nut show. That is not a fruit.
That's a fruit.
But also, humans and fruit and animals and fruit have a symbiotic relationship.
Is it so?
Because they're intended to be sweet.
Like
They're intended
venom?
to be eaten. Because then that helps with the dispersion of the seeds in different places.
They're scat.
Poop.
Exactly.
No.
I'll just read it as it's read in Wikipedia. By developments of mutual evolution, the fleshy produce of fruits typically appeals to hungry animals, such that the seeds contained within are taken in, carried away, and later deposited, i.e., defecated, at a distance from the parent plant.
Oh,
So you're saying fruit is smart?
Fruit is sweet, so it can be moved around.
What?
It is
That's why.
strategic. Yeah.
So, little fun
Evolved.
facts. We've already talked about ovaries and defecation, so let's talk about fruit.
Strap in, everybody.
This is a weird show already.
Off the rails.
We're not even that far into it. It's already weird.
So we have a lot of fruit to talk about, but we're not going to talk about every fruit. And your favorite may not be mentioned.
no.
I don't know if we'll ever do a part two after this.
Sorry, Walnut
I
fans.
think
but
we're
we'll
getting
see.
all the major heavy hitters. We did have to cut some, which was unfortunate. But
We'll
at the
mention
same
a
time-
few as we go, but
we
yeah.
have to. But let's jump into it,
Yeah.
shall we? Oh, we should clarify. We have 24 fruits, which means we have 8 tier 1s being the highest, 8 tier 2s being the middle, and 8 tier 3s being the lowest.
And I will be policing that.
And Zach, you passed the baton on this episode, right?
I did. I didn't want to do work this week.
Okay.
He does this often.
So Babs,
Kidding.
you're leading us off.
I am. That's true.
Introducing the categories.
Before we get started, I just want to make sure I read my Baconsale email that I got about the rules, the expectations for the
Yes.
episode. I just want to make sure you are not allowed to disagree with the pregnant woman. That's
that
correct.
has never been an issue on the show before.
Well,
I feel like that was in the small print. I just wanted
see.
to bring it up.
Dare to
what
be the villain.
All right, gentlemen, let's start with a pretty common one. Let's start with the banana.
Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana.
Joel, looking at you.
So I'll start off this by saying I have some brief facts about each one of these fruits.
Yeah.
Bananas are grown in 135 different countries, but the biggest producer of bananas is China. They produce 38% of the total
Wow.
population. And a banana is actually a berry, technically, scientifically speaking. Blowing minds here. Plantains are a little bit different. They're a little less sweet. They call them dessert bananas primarily. You guys, what's the thing commonly associated with bananas? What do people say about them? What do they have in them that help you?
potassium.
Yes, they say they have exceptional potassium content, except that's just a rumor.
Mediocre.
It's fine. But you know what else has better potassium content
Kiwis.
than bananas? Raw spinach, baked potatoes without skin, cooked soybeans, portobello mushrooms, processed tomato sauces. All have more potassium than a banana.
I'm not really in the market to find more potassium. It was just kind of something I associated with bananas.
Do you guys, which
Also-
side,
What marketing
vitamin.
executive was like, hey, let's hit the potassium angle real hard?
which
It
side,
either makes you tired or energetic.
which side do you guys open the banana from? The stem side or the nub side?
The older I've become, the more I've advanced, and I hold it with the handle now.
And flick it?
And
Like
I
a
flick it.
popsicle.
Well, the flicking is dangerous.
It's fun though.
It is
No.
fun. Yeah, no, it has a built-in handle.
No.
You don't take it from the blunt end, and then
How much do you squish the end when you open it that way, Kent?
like you squish the end both
pinch
ways.
No,
Oh,
not near
not
as much.
necessarily. No.
No, I
open it stem. by
Yeah,
the
I go stem side because I think you squish it
Then
too
where do
much.
you
You're
hold?
trying to get. You just hold it.
You
I grab
hold
the
it.
banana by the stem, I flick it,
Like
and
it's
then
an
it
ice
opens
cream
up, and then I
cone.
eat it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'd love to see
never
that.
tried that.
Yeah, it's
now
fun.
I really want to.
try it. In a
How-
couple of years, like I said, like 35,
Oh,
you'll start holding it right.
Oh,
Wait,
Yeah,
how
this is-
ripe does the banana have to be for that to work?
It can't be that green. The green, obviously, bananas start out pretty green. Just so you know, the vivid yellow,
Do they?
the vivid yellow color that you associate with bananas is actually caused by the artificial ripening process.
No, they're not actually.
They're not
really
going to be
green?
that yellow. Yeah, well, I mean, they're green. They're going to get a little bit. They're going to get yellow, but not as yellow as you see them because they have to artificially ripen them. But I give bananas a tier 1. I highly enjoy the flavor, whether it be an actual banana or even artificial flavoring or banana cream pie. There's so much goodness about a banana. And even though if I eat a banana, sometimes my throat kind of feels like it's closing up, I still enjoy it. I don't think so. But
That's actually you are.
but it's not like I can't breathe. It's
Technically.
just, my throat feels a little weird after eating bananas sometimes. And so I enjoy them, but I have to be careful. Tier 1 for me.
Absolutely tier 1.
Yes.
Banana is like the best additive in everything except for runts, right? Because it doesn't actually taste like banana.
I like
Except to be mixed with strawberry.
Because once again, being a guy who doesn't eat fruit apparently, banana Laffy Taffies, so delicious.
You're going to be rating fruit flavored candy.
Honestly,
on this
the fruit
episode?
variations of everything. But no, bananas
Okay.
were made to be eaten. And I think it's because of the pills. And I'm also ranking a lot of these on ease of use. If you need like a device to open these as well or fingernails, bananas are perfect for that as long as you're mature and you open it correctly.
I will agree with you. Also, tier 1. I love that they are prepackaged.
Yes.
As a mother, you grab a banana. That's a perfect
And it's
snack.
a biodegradable
Yep.
packaging.
Absolutely. They're sweet. I prefer them a little greener.
Really?
On the greener side, so
I
they're
like
a
that
little
green
more
flavor.
tart. I don't mind. I feel like they're a little more chewy and not as mushy.
Do you eat the little string suspenders on the side of the banana?
Never ever.
Or do you pull them off?
Suspenders? Is
Yeah,
that-
yeah. What are they
Joel,
called?
Is that the technical?
I'm
You
looking
probably
here.
have it in front of you.
It doesn't say that, Sarah.
Okay.
It doesn't say that.
They're great in baked goods. I love a good banana split.
Yes.
I feel like they make a lot of
Oh,
things
banana
better.
bread.
Even on sandwiches, like a peanut butter banana sandwich.
That's the best part about bananas.
Guys,
When they get too mushy, you can put them in a bread, and it's still delicious.
yeah, you can bake them. Yeah, we like making the banana chocolate chip muffins. That's a favorite at our house.
good.
So tier 1.
Are we gonna? Have we ever had a 4-way agreement on a tiering show?
I don't know if we have. Zach?
We're not gonna today. Tier 2.
What?
I like them. They make me sick and they make everyone have bad breath. And I think they have a narrow window when they're good, personally. Like, they can't be too green, but as soon as they start to get spots on them, I'm like, past 5 spots, I'm out.
Sometimes the spots are just on the outside, though, and it's perfectly fine on the
Yeah,
inside.
no,
Yeah.
it's not bad. It's just less good, you know? I like them. They did narrowly got bumped. When I did my initial ranking without regard to splitting them up, they were tier 1. So they're, I guess, a high tier 2. I know that's another thing. But I think, props to them for being versatile in like smoothies.
Props to bananas, everybody.
Props to bananas.
Good job, bananas.
I don't like
Honestly,
you, but good
a banana
job.
makes a smoothie.
Bananas,
Yeah.
banana. They're great for that texture. And whoever thought, hey, I'm gonna cut it in half and put ice cream on top of it. It's pretty genius. But personally, for whatever reason, they do make me kind of sick, like acid refluxy.
Oh.
And
Really?
yeah, it's super weird.
It's not very high
and
acidity,
I think
though.
banana breath is just the worst.
Is that why you hate monkeys?
Yes, I do. Tier 2 for me. High tier 2, but
Because
a
of
tier 2 nonetheless.
banana breath,
Banana
you're eating it.
And because if I eat one, I'll be so sick.
Can that be the new insult on Baconsale? Just calling
Banana
it
bread.
Banana breath.
Banana breath. Moving on to the orange. Kent.
Joel, do you have any facts about the
Oh,
orange?
yes, I do have
True
facts about the orange. Guys, which came first, the fruit or the color?
The color.
The chicken.
named the fruit.
chicken first.
They named the fruit after the color.
The color was named after the fruit.
Dang it.
As the first recorded use of orange as a color name was in 1512 in English.
My brain hurts.
Yeah.
Even thinking about that.
By the way, Brazil produces 22% of the oranges in the world, followed by China and India. And they're primarily found in like southern China, northeast India, and Myanmar. But then that was more of the wild one. And then as they domesticated and got around, it became all over the world. They started doing this.
Yeah.
And in fact, as of 1987, orange trees were to be found the most cultivated fruit tree in the world.
Wow.
And the Spanish conquistadors were the one that brought it to the American continent.
See. The orange is kind of boring, right? I mean,
think
it's
so?
vibrant, but it's an orange.
Yeah.
Right, but there's a couple different versions. I think really like now, if you have kids, for example, cuties,
Yeah. Yeah.
right, are great, and those are
are
awesome
my
because you can
favorite.
honestly just grab
peel
them
comes
and
off
peel
so
them
easy.
immediately.
The oranges are work.
Yeah, so the orange's skin, the rind is really tough to take off unless you have fingernails. That's why you need someone around the house with fingernails, like fake fingernails. Like, could you start the peel and then I'll work the rest?
Don't you just bite into it? Like,
Oh,
Spoon?
no, because if you bite
Oh,
into it,
the rind is the worst.
It is.
It's
works.
such an intense flavor. That's why in cooking, right? You just scrape a little bit in there.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it's
the
a,
zest.
it's
Like that's why people
Yeah.
like marmalade. I'm like, are you psychopaths? It's terrible.
Paddington?
Yes, psychopath.
Paddington is a
Paddington's
psychopath?
But if you rearrange the letters in Paddington, it spells psychopath.
But once you get into that orange, and granted, it's an orange, but it's super juicy, whether it's sliced or peeled, and you just take the little pieces and eat them, or you're at a soccer game and people have orange slices. That's straight up nostalgia. And without an orange, there wouldn't be orange juice, which is one of the greatest inventions on this planet. Even though it's boring and it's hard to peel, it's still a tier 1.
I also agree with you that they are delicious. They're juicy. They're versatile. I love the cuties so much. Hate the skin. I also, with kids, sometimes you have to like take all the time to cut off the extra, like skin off the actual segments.
Like the white.
Yeah.
And the little stringy things,
Yeah.
right?
Suspenders, yeah.
Yeah. I honestly,
Suspenders.
every fruit has suspenders, apparently. What are the pants they have to keep? The fruit is delicious. I would say the smell is maybe even better.
Oh, one of my favorite things is that when I'm done with oranges and I put the peels down the disposal and I turn on the hot water and then run the disposal and it's like this mist.
Who
of
needs a
orange
candle?
smell.
Or even as you're opening them, you kind of like your thumb smells like it.
Sprays you in the face.
You're right in the eye.
However, despite all of the great things about oranges,
Yeah.
they are tier 2
I get
for
it.
me. I feel like I buy them more often because I have children or for Christmas to put them in the toe of the stocking.
Yeah, that's
Anybody
true.
else?
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
We do that. And then a banana.
Yeah.
It's a
side
totally fair
fruit
tier
structure.
2.
Yeah, tier 2
Yeah,
for me.
it's a tier 2 for me as well. I think when they're good, they're really good. But I've had a lot of not so great oranges. Either they're flavorless or kind of just like tart or sour, hard to peel sometimes. I mean, overall, when they're good, they're great. It's a good complementary flavor in things. It's good. Obviously, you want all your cleaning products to smell like orange because it's just so delicious. Shout out to Soaring Over California for making it smell like an orange grove.
Yeah.
Great smell, but if I'm getting something for like a quick snack for a lunch, I never pick an orange. But tier 2.
So I used to not like eating them. Like I didn't like
Because they're more tropical?
No. These are basic.
Okay.
Like I've explained this. So let me explain
The
it again.
primary colors of...
In my realm, in my pickiness of fruit, there's like the central area of basic fruits, and those are all the good ones, and I like most of them, like apples, oranges, bananas,
Sure.
stuff like that. Then you get out to the second circle, and that's where you get the weird ones, where it's like not quite everyday stuff, like apricots or peaches. Or,
Sure.
yeah,
We'll get there.
Yeah, but then you get the third realm, tropical, and that's almost all outlawed. So you're
All
going
right.
to hear
Oranges are still basic for you.
Oranges are still in that basic tier, and I would say they're the best citrus fruit out there by far. I love the smell, I love the taste, but I didn't like eating them, and so I used to just kind of bite them like a vampire and suck out the juices and then throw away the
What?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's what I used to do with little orange slices. I'd suck out all the juice and then throw it down. So, but I do enjoy eating them now. I love cuties a lot. The peel is the worst in the world, but
Someone will correct us. Those technically aren't oranges, but we're putting them in the category.
they're all cultivats.
Sure,
I used the word. I learned that word from Wikipedia.
I appreciate
but I'm
it.
definitely giving this one a tier 1 because man,
All
there's
right.
so many good orange options out there.
Also, shout out to Cracker Barrel for including orange slices. I love Cracker Barrel.
It's
Not
not
a
a
sponsor.
sponsor.
Call me.
I know. Stop it.
Next up, let's address the strawberry.
The strawberry in the room. Yes. Wow, that was so obnoxious.
If we don't agree on this, I might throw a fit. Strawberries are absolutely a tier 1. Strawberries are delicious. I assume we are rating fruit in their ripest, most delicious form.
Well, that's the thing is
Yes.
like in season, but also we've all had bad experiences with fruit too. So that's
Right.
going to come up.
Right.
But yeah, in season strawberry.
Absolutely. And I feel like the real fruit strawberry absolutely trumps any fake strawberry flavors in candies or sodas or whatever you might
Disagree.
have. You're wrong.
She's a guest, Joel. She's pregnant.
Respectfully disagree, Your Highness.
I really liked that. We could do that. I accept.
Okay.
But tier 1, best of the best. I always have them in my house whenever they're not $9 a pound. Kids love them. I love them. Just the best.
Do you have fun facts about them, Joel?
Oh, of course I do. China, once again, leads the pack on this one with 38% of the world's total. In fact, you guys, I'm just going to say it right now, China dominates the fruit
Really?
world.
That's
Almost
weird.
all these are dominated by China.
Oh, this just in. China dominates fruit world.
And since we talk about bananas being berries, let's talk about the fact that the strawberry is not a berry.
Because the seeds are on the outside?
Yeah, it's kind of the technical term. It's not a berry. And on average, the strawberry has about 200 seeds on its external membrane.
You make it sound less delicious.
Yeah, you
But I'll
lost
tell you
me
what,
at
Zack-
external membrane.
Zack, what are your feelings about strawberries?
But the time-lapse videos of watching strawberries grow, though, is one of the most satisfying time-lapse videos out there.
The little white blossom
That turns green and then
so
poof,
beautiful.
red. That beautiful red
I've
color.
never noticed that strawberries had seeds until one evening. I'm sitting next to my wife, and she's eating strawberries, and it's the first time ever I hear the crunch of every little seed. And I'm like,
Every little seed.
Wait, from
Yes.
her mouth or inside your mouth?
from her eating them.
Inside my mouth.
I
they
didn't
were
hear them.
And
they
it made
were
me realize that
crunchy.
strawberries have seeds.
I think you have issues with other people eating fruit, not you eating fruit.
Starting to see that.
He's got a point.
Well, I was on the fence until Joel gave me the fun facts. Now it's just a solid tier 1. Strawberries are my favorite fruit, probably. At least they were growing up. They're great to slice up and put in things. I really like them in like vanilla yogurt. Even the fake candy flavors of strawberry are always like a go-to, delicious one. Strawberry ice cream, strawberry milkshakes. It's all great. Strawberries are like just a solid tier 1. Love them.
Strawberry flavors, anything is the best. Anything strawberry flavored, I will enjoy, whether it be a cake or ice cream
Strawberry
or candy.
soda.
That is one of the first things I'm going to pick because I absolutely love that flavor. The fruit,
Stop.
I don't like as much.
Why not?
But it's still a tier 1. Of course it is. This is a delicious one. I love, because I am not one that just be like, ooh, strawberries, and eat a bunch of them. But if it's on my plate, I'm like, oh, there's a nice little tart flavored sweetness.
Yeah.
But I prefer them dipped in something like a chocolate or whipped cream or something like that, in addition to add a little more sweetness to it. That's just, like I said, I'm a little weird with fruit, but strawberries are ones that I will eat and enjoy.
This is nature's candy.
100%.
You don't need anything added to a strawberry except for a cream of Weaver strawberry milk, which is amazing.
Amazing.
Amazing. But this is, I would say, the king of the fruits. It even has a little green crown on top. And that's what's nice about strawberries is, you're going to have some lost fruit there. There's some lost meat.
There's some yield issues.
You can't get everything without getting
But
the
still,
crown.
it's very easy to eat. You just kind of pluck it, eat it.
Fun handle. Not like a
Nibble
dumb
around
banana
it.
handle.
Is it a handle?
No, it's way better. Strawberry handle is way better than the
So
banana
you got to
handle.
hold the crown, and scalp it. You
handle?
got basically got to scalp a strawberry.
I'm cool with that.
Are you cool with it?
Oh, no, see, I take the tip of my little paring knife and I go down and cut around
you
it
make a
so
little
it
bowl.
cuts
For
out.
every
core it.
strawberry?
Yeah.
You
Then
core the strawberries and pop them in your mouth.
Yeah, a little
Okay.
core. And I like whenever we get a box of them, a little
A carton?
the gem packs.
Yeah. Let's go with that.
But we are all agreeing this is straight up tier 1.
We had a 4-way agreement.
Which I
on
know a
tier
lot of
1.
people don't actually like strawberries as much.
Because they're such,
Who?
a lot of people have
Who,
allergies.
sir?
A lot of people have allergies.
We
to strawberries.
quiz people before the show.
Oh, yeah. I've been asking several people for weeks and if they could have like one fruit for the rest of their lives. And my dad chose strawberries.
Yeah.
It's his favorite thing.
I think they're candy for sure. Nature's candy. Right?
Totally.
Delicious.
Absolutely.
Next up, we have apples.
Once again, China. Nearly half the total of apples grown in the world
Wow.
are from China. And in fact, there are more than 7,500 known cultivars of apples, meaning types of apples. Over 7,500 types of apples.
Is this the fruit with the greatest variety?
I think so.
Because you go to a grocery store and there's like
So
7
many
kinds.
apples.
Yeah.
There's oranges, and then there's this type of apple, that type of apple.
Do you guys have a preference?
Oh, totally.
Oh, 100%.
Granny
Honey
Smith.
Crisp.
Granny Smith.
Yeah.
Is there any bigger lie in the world than red delicious apple?
Oh, yeah.
No, I was
They're
going to say,
disgusting.
I'm a fan of Granny Smith, Fuji, Honeycrisp, Pink Ladies, Gala. Those are all good.
Yeah.
Red Delicious is mealy, awful bitterness.
Yeah. It's like grandpa breath.
But Gala,
Right, Zach?
Golden delicious, though.
golden delicious,
Yeah, really good.
Gala
When they're
as well.
golden.
By the way, apple, the word comes from the Proto-Germanic word applause.
Hold on. Hold on.
Sorry, come again?
Applause. Which could also, it just means fruit in general. It's a
Okay.
word that just means fruit. And it's actually, in some cultures, the word for apple is also the same for just generic fruit. And the funny thing is, we've all heard the term as American as apple pie.
Yeah.
Apples actually were grown for thousands of years in Asia and Europe and were brought to North America by European colonists. The
Sounds
only
about right.
apples that were native to North America were crab apples, or common apples, as they were called.
Gross.
Yeah. And Kent, here's a little fun fact for you.
Okay.
In ancient Greece, the apple is considered sacred to the goddess Aphrodite. And in fact, to throw an apple at someone was to symbolically declare one's love. And similarly, to catch it was to symbolically show one's acceptance of that love.
Oh, wow.
So next time you like a girl, just chuck an apple at her.
But she has to catch it.
She does. If she doesn't, she's not the one.
And she's knocked out.
Yeah, that could be it. Also, the term Adam's apple, you guys heard that because of the association with Adam eating the apple and part of it getting caught in his throat.
Yeah.
That's a weird kind of association that I've always thought.
I never even considered why that's a thing.
And I'm like, that's kind of funny. That's become the colloquial term for the larynx down here. You can eat an entire apple. There is in the seeds a small amount of I'm not going to say this right.
Yep.
Amygdalin, which is a sugar and cyanide compound.
Cyanide?
Yes.
Poison.
But the United States National Library of Medicine's Hazardous Substances Data Bank records no cases of amygdalin.
But if you ate a
poisoning from
lot of
consuming
apple seeds.
I think you'd have to eat a lot of apple
But
seeds.
did you guys...
You told us about 2 ways to kill people with apples, basically.
No, show your love and then
Choke
kill them.
them.
My fear has never been being poisoned. It's just legitimately, I thought it was going to have an apple tree in my stomach.
Which is funny because you consider how hard it is to grow a seed in soil. It's probably much more hard in stomach acid.
Yeah. Well, when you're a kid, you're kind of dumb.
Do you still believe in quicksand?
Quicksand exists. It's not a myth. I've seen it.
Really worried about quicksand as a child.
DuckTales made it a big
Guys,
deal.
you're taking a long time, Zach. How do you feel?
Apple's a big one, though.
They are a tier 2 for me. When they're good, they're good. When they're bad, they're bad. Fleshy outer skin is like meh.
I'm a fan.
I like them cooked in things, but
I hate them cooked.
I would eat an apple like all the time when I was working at Sizzler and just take one from the salad bar. But again,
They had
like,
apples in the salad bar.
yeah,
It was on the display in the very center.
Yeah, they were wax. It was weird. But so I mean, you know, if they're fine, that's why they're just a tier 2.
They're fine. And that's totally fine.
Yeah,
I disagree completely.
really.
This is my tier 1 of tier 1.
Is it?
Really?
If I'm going to go for a fruit, it's an apple. Like that is my go-to. If there's a Granny Smith apple anywhere in the vicinity in the fridge, I'm going to be eating it. I absolutely love a cool, crisp apple. I do not like cooked apples though. Like
really?
in apple pies,
Apple cobbler?
Apple cobbler, no. I like the flavor, but I don't like the texture.
Shout out to Cracker Barrel's fried apples.
Stop it.
It's like
Not a sponsor.
it's like
Yeah.
a rubbery potato at that point. I'm just not a fan of
Ooh,
it.
rubbery potatoes.
But
Apples are super
Big source of
convenient.
potassium.
I feel like they're really convenient
Yeah.
when you start eating them, but they're really inconvenient when you have just the core. You're like, what do I do with it?
But there are a few things more satisfying than biting into an apple and that chunk just kind of comes out and you're like,
Yeah.
yes.
When I had braces, the whole time I had braces, I wanted to bite into an apple because you just couldn't. And so that was the first thing I did as soon as I got them off. It was extremely
Very
satisfying.
satisfying. And it's tasty.
And apple's tier 1 because you can eat the skin and it's totally fine. And it's an activity. You eat around in the middle first.
Yep.
Chomp, chomp, chomp. Then you eat the top. Chomp, chomp, chomp. Then you eat the bottom. You're like that.
Teaching a child how to eat apples properly is quite difficult.
And so it takes about 7 minutes to eat an apple. And
But it's
by
a
that-
nice activity to
It's
do.
a nice activity. And you're like, that was good. And I burned some calories. And granted, yes, there are some really bad apples or bland apples out there. But
Bad
it's,
apple.
it's
Are we talking about dating again?
but there's so much juicy meat inside.
Don't call it
the
meat.
flesh.
No. I hate
so-
those terms of meat and
Honestly,
flesh.
to me, it's a tier 1. It's a boring tier 1, but it still deserves to be
Granny
tier 1.
Smith apple with caramel.
Oh,
Yeah. Or my wife makes this kind of a whipped cream cheese dip.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good.
Don't put them in salads, please. Stop it.
I'm okay
Snickers,
that.
with Snickers.
Yeah. Snicker salad's good.
No.
That's not a salad.
Uh-oh.
I'm so sorry. Everyone's going to get so mad. These are a tier 3 for me.
Our first tier 3, you're giving it to apples?
You guys.
Why do you hate
okay.
America?
They came from China. No, I would never buy these if I didn't have kids. The only reason they're in my house is for the children.
Did you eat them as a
to have
kid?
a quick snack. I did, and I didn't ever like them. In fact, I would make my mom skin them because the skin of the apple would make me gag. I don't know, they were waxy, or I don't know what kind we would get, but it would always make me gag. So I'd have to peel it, which was just way too much work.
Were you in the sticker too?
You're not supposed to.
You can.
Probably.
No way. Apples were only good for twisting off the stem, seeing what letter was going to be the first name of your husband. And that was it.
You ever do that?
No.
Oh, you've never done
never
that?
I just throw apples at girls.
Yeah.
No.
Twist
Oh,
it. A,
yeah,
B,
A, B, C, D. And as soon as it gets off, it's
That's
like,
the
oh,
name of your
Z.
true love is when it comes off.
Yeah, my true love.
Which is really awkward.
That's why you've never...
This is your problem, Ken.
Zack?
We can fix all. Where's an apple?
No, it's really awkward.
I'm pretty sure Z wasn't picked.
when your it's really awkward when your crush had a letter A and you had to like hurry and pull it off around him. Like, A.
Yes.
Guys, can we buy some apples?
When I lived back east in New Jersey, we went for like an autumn festival. We went apple picking in these beautiful, beautiful orchards. Fresh Macintosh apples, the like top tieriest one of apples, and I still didn't like them. If they are covered in caramel, maybe. If they're dipped in whipped cream, maybe. They're never my go-to. And I don't like apple pie, and I'm so sorry.
We can agree on the apple pie thing. I love the flavor. I don't like the texture.
We are in for a weird show because we've done. You guys have both been tier 1 this whole way.
I've been tier 1 the entire time. Yeah.
Okay.
We're on 4 of your tier 1s.
Next up, let's do blueberries.
Blueberries.
Fun facts, Joel.
Canada is the leading producer of low bush blueberries.
Hold on. Canada?
Yeah.
I got to change things.
Whereas United States produces some 40% of the world's supply of high bush blueberries. Low bush is kind of
Is
the
that
wild...
like east side of the track, west side of the track?
It's wild berries versus cultivated.
South Detroit.
Like they kind of... Blueberries just kind of run wild up in Canada and dominate the culture. But then here in America, we domesticate them and make sure they're nice, plump blueberries. Blueberries.
Like lazy cats?
That's what it sounds like.
But for me, blueberry flavored things...
Yeah.
Love them, love them, love them, love them, love, 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 love. Like this is like... If it's
Really?
blueberry, I'm excited to have
What
it.
is blueberry
Like a
that you
blueberry
Like a
enjoy?
blueberry muffin
Pop-Tart?
or a blueberry Pop-Tart or blueberry candy or blueberry gum or blueberry drink. Anything
Blueberry
like blueberry.
pie?
Gum, like
Pie?
from Willy Wonka?
Yeah, I would love it. I would eat it and I would turn into a blueberry and enjoy myself. So,
Pie?
love it.
Blueberry pie filling?
Fruit filling is always a little iffy for me.
Sure.
Because the actual blueberries, once again, I eat it and I'm like, where's the blueberry flavor?
Interesting.
But I still give it a tier 1 because
Come on.
the juices are delicious. And once again, you mix it with berries and cream. Yum, 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 yum. So even though the berries are not as good as the artificial flavor, I still enjoy the blueberries.
Oh, these little dry blueberries. Oh, they take away all the moisture because they're little grenades of dryness. These are one of the worst fruits
Dryness?
ever created.
What are you talking
Dry.
about?
I hate blueberries with their weird little stemmy thing that comes out.
Yeah, sometimes you bite into that.
What
Yeah.
fruit are you talking about right
Blueberries, and it's so gross. The only way blueberries are good is if they're surrounded by a muffin and smashed in. And then I can tolerate them because I'm like, oh, and you're right, Joel, the taste is better than the fruit, but I cannot, like, we had a fruit tray the other day.
We did.
And I kept pushing the rolling blueberries to the side. They are an inferior fruit in every way. And blue is my
please.
favorite color.
Yeah.
Blueberries
They're
are my
like purple.
least favorite fruit. Yeah. Tier 3.
now? Boo.
I'm right in the middle. I'm a tier 2. I think they're an easy snack for moms or kids.
The
Or
antioxidants
men.
are fantastic. Or men. Men can have them too.
Can we? Are we allowed? I don't know if that's a theme.
This is a good time to mention I really like sour flavors.
Me too.
I like sour fruits. I like sour candies. It's a thing I really appreciate. So I feel like blueberries often tend to be either sweet or kind of sour. I disagree with Kent that they are dry and don't have any flavor. I'm talking about like ripe ones, though, in the
Right.
proper season. But they made it tier 2 because they are unreliable. Sometimes
You can't trust 'em.
You can't tell if it's moldy till it's in your mouth.
Oh.
And it's never a good thing. So they're a solid tier 2 for me.
I used to go to McDonald's for breakfast when I was on the way into one of my jobs. I'd get myself an Egg McMuffin and a fruit parfait. And I would let that fruit parfait sit on my desk for a while because it was always frozen fruit. Just let it thaw. I'd have it as a mid-morning snack. And every single time I got to a blueberry, I was like, this is awful. This is disgusting.
You
I
let it
hate
roll
this
around
part.
in your mouth, you spit it back
I
out.
spit it out.
Yeah.
I don't like blueberries at all. Tier 3.
Yes.
What is wrong with you guys?
Blueberry pie filling is my go-to crepe filling.
Oh, yeah.
I like
blueberries.
a blueberry because it fixes the problems with blueberries, the texture, the weird sourness, maybe it's not so good.
The weird hairy stem.
The weird hairy stem.
What are you talking
Blueberry
about?
pie filling is good, but blueberries not fun. Don't like them. Tier 3.
Next, we got coconut.
Coconuts.
Coconut.
Indonesia being the largest producer of coconuts here, followed by the Philippines. The coconut tree, by the way, has been known to kill people, they say.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, they
Because of
say
the falling coconut.
they say
They're
more people
gravity
get killed-
murderers.
It's an urban
Aren't we
legend that
all?
more people get killed by falling coconuts than shark attacks.
Yeah.
Not entirely true. In fact, it was weird on the Wikipedia page. They actually list the confirmed kills of coconuts falling on people's heads.
That's awful.
But it's over centuries. It's like, not that many people get killed by coconuts.
But think about it.
As soon as a coconut takes out 5 people, it's an ace coconut.
The name coconut comes from the old Portuguese word coco, meaning head or skull, after the 3 indentations found on the coconut shell that kind of look like a face. But fun fact for you Portuguese speakers and non-Portuguese Portuguese speakers out there, coco means coconut. Coco means poop. So be careful when you're ordering a drink.
More defecation
is all
on
I'm
this
saying
show.
there.
you know how nature sometimes has a way of trying not to be eaten or protected? I think it's a coconut. We weren't meant to open up a coconut.
Are you kidding me?
There's so much bark on the outside that's going to slice
well,
you
they
up.
got that outer green shell. You got to kind of husk
Yeah.
off, and then you got the inner shell. You
and
got
then
to
you
crack
get
it
to
open.
the inner part, and it's still like white wood, and it's gross. And the crunchiness. This is a texture thing for me. And if I get like an Almond Joy or Mounds, for example, I just recoil. It makes me gag. I cannot. I like the taste of pina colada. But
and getting caught in the rain?
And getting you like the taste. Anyways, but I do not like the graininess of a coconut, and it's an absolute tier 3.
Oh,
100% agree with you. Tier 3. I love the flavored like coconut syrups and sodas, or pina coladas, etc. I like coconut ice cream, coconut candies, but actual coconut texture for me, the flaky texture, even having it fresh out of the actual coconut bark.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just bark. Yeah.
In Hawaii, on a vacation, they cracked it open. They showed us how it all opened up, and then they cut out little pieces and gave it to us. And I was like, this is going to be good. And I was wrong.
I also think it's tier 3.
Oh my
gosh. I don't like them at all.
What is wrong with you guys?
Like, I like an Almond Joy, but the coconut's not why.
Even with your ancestry.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Wow.
I don't really like
I
coconut.
want to take Christy to Vegas because I've talked about how picky I am about fruit, but this is one of my tier 1s.
Wow.
What? I love coconut. I enjoy it so much. I love the flavor. Like anytime there's coconut flavoring, I am a happy person. But even eating an Almond Joy or a Mounds, or even eating it right out of the coconut nut, it's good. It's tasty. It's filling. And the texture's a little iffy, but at the same time, the flavor more than makes up for it. I think coconut's delicious. Tier 1.
Has Joel had tier 1s this whole time?
Joel has had entirely tier 1s.
It's time for pineapple.
Yeah. Maybe the first time you hear me curse on Baconsale.
Finally.
Yes.
Do you want to get
Fun
facts, though?
facts.
Oh, yes. Can we call them fun if it's about pineapple?
Oh, yeah.
So the Philippines grows the most pineapple. And in fact, you might be interested to find out that as much as we associate Hawaii with pineapple, it's actually a South American fruit. And it wasn't until later when they started transferring it over to Hawaii that it kind of started becoming cultivated there, and they started growing it there. And that's where it boomed commercially, but it's not native to that area. And the reason it's called pineapple, because like everywhere, every other language in the world is some variation of like ananas is kind of and it means great, excellent fruit, which is a terrible name for this
Totally
liable
accurate.
trash fruit. But they called it pine of the Indians, not because it resembled a pine tree, because they thought it looked like a pine cone.
Oh.
And that's
Oh,
where
that makes sense.
pineapple came from.
Yeah.
James Dole, he's the one who moved to Hawaii, started cultivating there, got the Dole Food Company.
Oh, he made the Dole Whip, right?
But just so you guys know,
Yeah.
pineapples from Costa Rica to Europe are used fairly regularly as trafficking narcotics. And so they are the containers of pineapples are routinely impounded and checked and made over. So if you're buying pineapple, you are supporting the drug trade. Just putting that out.
Wow.
Oh, my word.
That's a leap.
Smooth cayenne is the dominant form of pineapple that we know, which is a terrible name for a fruit. Who wants to eat smooth cayenne?
Isn't that a Michael Jackson song?
This really is an awful, terrible fruit, and you guys know.
Joel, it's not even your turn. Babs.
Are you
Babs.
done?
Yes,
Yeah.
go for it. I was just going to start ranting, so I should probably stop.
Pineapple is so delicious. I love it when it's ripe and it's sweet. I'm giving it a tier 2 because it got bumped from my tier 1s.
Now, are you saying, do you ever buy an actual pineapple, or do you buy the little plastic containers with sliced pineapple already?
No, I buy an actual pineapple.
You do?
Absolutely. You can tell it's ripe when the center leaves come out easily.
And it tries to kill you because they have sharp blades on the top.
It's my turn
rough
to
sides.
talk, Joel.
It's a blunt instrument and a sharp object. It's a murder machine.
I think that pineapple is...
If you buy pineapples, you're supporting murder.
Joel.
I think that pineapple is really delicious for like the first bite. Nice ripe pineapple. You take a bite, it's good. You take another bite, wow, this is still really good. Third bite, this seems to be fighting back a little bit. Fourth bite, battery acid in your mouth. It's so painful.
They are self-regulating.
Yeah.
You definitely get sores on your
Do
tongue.
you think a
after
pineapple is
minute.
sentient? Like it knows that you're trying to eat
It does not
it?
want to be eaten or should be eaten.
Joel,
From
wait
the
your
rough outer
turn.
coating to the acidic innards, it does not want to be eating.
Tier 2, it's really acidic, but
But it's good at first,
very good.
right?
They smell great. They are tasty, but tier 2.
I hate this fruit.
We know
hate it so
it's
much.
tier 3.
It is a tier 3. It is the bottom of all tier 3s. My Facebook profile says 2 things. I love Halloween. I hate pineapple. I hate pineapple.
Seriously, what happened? When you were a kid?
Pineapple killed my father. Okay,
it was the drugs, wasn't it?
It was the drug trafficking. No, I literally say it. My kids all the time will be like, "Why don't you like pineapple?" And I say, "Pineapple killed my father." And they know my dad. Like their grandpa's still around.
Sure.
And so they're like, "No, he's still alive." I'm like, "My real father." But then my daughter, she thought it was funny, so now she'll just go around saying whatever killed my father. Like that's her joke. She's 6 years old. She's making this joke, and I'm like, she said it to the doctor one time randomly. There's so and so killed my father, and she gave my wife a look, and she's like, "No, he's fine." So I got to be careful about saying that.
A bad example.
It's the fruit of the devil. It's the worst of the worst.
My
it's garbage.
goodness.
Garbage fruit, tier 3.
Okay, Kent, your turn.
I kind of support the drug trade because I'm giving this a tier 2. Like, it's good, but I also take it down a notch because people put it on pizza for some reason, and that
Delicious
is
on pizza.
Oh, yes. I'm a yes
an
on pizza.
atrocity. Okay.
Is there something below tier 3?
Yeah, so maybe it's now a tier 3. But no, I'll give it a tier 2 because it tastes good, but it's a lot of effort.
I've tried pineapple fresh. I've tried it canned. I've tried it glazed. I've tried it grilled. I've tried it at the Dole Plantation in Hawaii. Terrible every time.
Pineapple upside down cake.
Terrible.
Yeah.
I made that for my wife one time for her birthday because she requested it, which shows how much I love her.
See, I feel like pineapple is grilled. It's one of the few that tastes good warm, which is why it works on pizza. And that's sweet and salty.
Stop it.
So good.
Blech.
Next up, how do you feel about raspberries?
Russia actually leads the world with 20% of the world's total of raspberries. And unlike blackberries, the raspberry has a hollow core once it's been removed from its receptacle, as they call it. The name comes from berry, of course, being the fruit, but then also rasp, meaning rough in Old English, so rough berry. And they are vigorous and locally invasive. If you put this in your garden, it can take over your entire
Yes, please.
garden. Zach?
They're a tier 2 for me. I think they're tasty. They're gross when they're mushy, though. When they, like, you get a mushy raspberry, that's not good. Sometimes you like just end up with like raspberry seeds in your teeth.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
uncomfortable.
little seeds.
But overall, good flavor. I like raspberry shakes in the summer. So good. Raspberry as like an ice cream topping, as a waffle topping, really good. But overall, not my favorite.
Is it the 5 o'clock shadow on raspberries?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, the little fuzz.
Yeah,
little
there's a lot
fuzzy.
of fuzz.
Yeah, but tier 2. What? Had to be done. Had to
I
be
love
done.
raspberry.
No.
Which apparently comes from a Cockney rhyming slang for raspberry tart, which is the noise you're making rhymes with something that rhymes with raspberry tart. And that's why they call it blowing a raspberry.
That makes sense.
There you go. Yeah. As much as I really enjoy the flavor, like when I think about raspberry flavored things, I am all in on that. But raspberries themselves, they, like Kent said, they got the little spindly,
they do.
I've just started growing hair on my face kind of hairs. And then there's that little seeds inside of them. So eating just a plain raspberry is not as pleasurable as like a jam or a raspberry flavored thing.
Yeah, raspberry jam.
Seedless
good.
jam.
That is my
Seedless.
jam.
Raspberry jam.
But I'm giving
Yeah.
it a tier 2 because
Yeah.
the actual fruit, I eat them sometimes, but it's a little weird.
I think these have the most likelihood of having bugs in them.
Yeah, I could see that.
Right? Because it's the receptacle.
Yes.
It's like a pocket for a bug family. But you know what?
Or drugs.
I got a pocket for a bug family.
But you know what? It's worth the risk. It's a little bit of a protein dish.
Sure.
Right in your raspberry. I remember going to my cousins when I was young. As a young male, I would eat raspberries off the vine because I could.
Yeah.
Anyways, and yeah. Maybe you shouldn't do that because they may have been sprayed, but yeah, you're just so easy to pluck and eat like 1,000 of them because I'm pretty sure there's 0 calories and you could just eat them forever. The seeds may kill you.
Yeah.
But it's like nature's boba. This is a straight up tier 1. They're good in the artificial flavoring department and they're good as a fruit.
Blue raspberry artificial.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I agree with Kent. Raspberries are tier 1. We eat them like candy at our house.
Hairy candy.
Yes. Well,
It's like you took a piece of candy and dropped it on the ground and got the hair and some
It's-
rocks on it, little rocks on it. and then
5
you start
second rule.
we have a cat. Things are mostly hairy that we eat. Let's be honest.
No.
No, but my kids, they put them on their fingers like black olives.
Yep.
Then
they stain them.
Yes, and it's
Yeah.
adorable, and they love them, and I love them. And yes, when they're mushy and moldy, gross, but like Leatherby's raspberry topping, you guys,
Not a
if you
sponsor.
have not had it recently, go get it. It's so
Go up to
delicious.
Bear Lake and get a raspberry shake.
Oh, raspberry shakes. I love how tart they are. It's just, tier 1. Raspberries are the
This
best.
almost made it tier 1, but I got bumped out.
Yeah, it kind of made there too.
Next up, let's go cantaloupe.
But Christy, we cantaloupe. You're already married.
First, the
Did you write that
pineapple.
down?
No, that's
Okay.
off the cuff, sadly. No, China, once again, dominates with 51% of the cantaloupes grown in the world total. But California grows 75% of the cantaloupes in the U.S., which is another reason why California should just break off and fall into the sea.
Another reason.
Yes.
Add it to the list.
The name cantaloupe was derived from the 18th century French cantaloupe. It's from the region of Italy, Cantalupo, but it was first mentioned in English literature in 1793. And the taste is fine if you like the taste of rotting flesh. Cantaloupe is a tier 3, horrible. People that eat this for breakfast, like you're talking about banana breath. I don't want my breath to taste or smell like I've just eaten a dead body, and that's what cantaloupe happens. It is
Have
terrible.
you ever
flavor.
had a good one?
Good dead body fruit? No, no, I have
Dead
not.
body fruit.
Actually, cantaloupe comes from cannibal.
Cantaloupe, those little orange chunks in the fruit medley, I just kind of those are pushed to the side because I'm like, no, thank you, flesh.
And there's so many of
literal
them.
flesh of fruit. No cantaloupe tier 3.
It's weird because rarely do I ever have a good cantaloupe, and I'm not really going to grab one. And the innards of a cantaloupe that you have to scoop out,
Gross.
it really grosses me out.
Yeah.
But sometimes on a nice summer day, there is a perfect slice of cantaloupe, or cut up, or just in a little smiley face, and you just put your face right in it, and it's so juicy.
You're facing that other person's
And
face?
there's the skin is so small that you're getting plenty of fruit, and the
Yeah,
efficiency is
good yield.
there. And so it's a tier 2 because it weirds me out a little bit. Yeah, it's a little stinky, a little
Yeah.
weird, but it's quite juicy.
Tier 3, gross. No, thank you.
Thank you.
Ah, really? Tier 2 for me as well, Kent. I think that when they're good and ripe, and they're really good, and then when they're not that ripe, they're just kind of a little tough and not that flavorful. They're not necessarily bad. I've never gotten the stinky flesh feeling that some people have expressed about cantaloupe before. There might be another melon that I have. But cantaloupe's solid, tier 2.
Time for kiwis.
There are about 60 species native to eastern and central China. They were eaten not for pleasure. In fact, they were given as medicine to children to help them grow, and to women who had just given birth to help them recover. This was the secret to that.
Once again, not men.
Yeah, not men.
I'm telling
It's
you.
not for men.
After you
Fruit
have a
are not
baby,
for men.
just start pounding kiwis. Just start eating a ton of those.
Afterwards.
Yeah.
Afterwards, that'll help you replenish. And then,
Will you peel them for me?
well, because the peels are kind of awful, they're also kind of
You don't
hairy.
peel them, you shave them.
But
Oh, hold on.
in 1962, because remember, it was native to China. But in 1962, New Zealand growers started cultivating it and calling it kiwi fruit due to its fuzzy appearance similar to the kiwi bird,
Yeah.
which is where the word kiwi came from.
Zach, you shave a kiwi.
Yeah.
Every time you eat one?
Yeah.
That'd be an immediate tier 3 because that's way too much work. I just cut it right in half and then eat it like a little bowl.
You can
Little gelato.
scoop it out. Totally.
And then you go,
Aw.
and then you dip it like a bowl.
There's sometimes where you
Drink
can
the kiwi
actually
juice.
pinch the skin off.
Yeah, they come off really easy sometimes.
Yeah. And Zach, I'm glad you're here because I didn't discover kiwi until I went to Sizzler for my birthday once.
Sizzler.
And Sizzler has so many kiwis. They are the decoration for the salad bar.
They are. You can eat that.
Just like the
Seafood,
apples.
salad.
Zach, sometimes I would grab kiwis and I would drop them in the salad dressing.
You monster! I cleaned so many of those out.
I think I did it when you were there.
I have it all the time.
I am so sorry.
There's
All
nothing worse than a fuzzy kiwi covered in ranch.
tier 1. It's probably delicious. Look, if it were not for kiwis, Shasta would not be a business. Everybody, kiwi strawberry is a staple.
absolutely.
This almost made tier 1, but just because you do need cutlery to actually eat a kiwi,
Yeah, you can't.
it's a tier 2. I enjoy the
people
taste.
people do eat the skin.
Oh, what?
Ew.
People, I've seen people eat,
Pineapple lovers, cantaloupe eaters.
but it's not common. But I've seen people do it.
I don't get it.
Yeah,
And also sometimes the middle part, it
can be a
the
little
soul of the
like a
kiwi
pineapple.
The
can be a
white.
little solid, right? It's when it's too white, it's a little too firm, and so it takes away from the taste. But it's a high tier 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they are delicious if someone else prepares it. You guys don't know it, but if you get one of those little hairs in your mouth, it's kind of like kissing a guy after he's trimmed his mustache.
I wouldn't know.
I don't
That's yeah.
know.
I figured
Sorry about that.
it's not great, so it's tier 2 for me.
I think it's a tier 2. It's solid fruit. Pairs well in like a medley of fruits. You know, kiwi, strawberry, classic flavor. But in like a fruit salad, kiwi is always a welcome element. But you know, it's not the go-to. So tier 2.
Yeah, I find the appearance to be somewhat off-putting with the hairy exterior and you have to kind of
I'm right
dig it
here,
out.
Joel.
But every time I eat a kiwi, I'm always like, oh yeah, I do like that.
Yeah.
I do like that flavor.
Do you slice them in half or do you shave them?
I'll peel them and then slice them.
Wow.
So yeah.
Yeah, we've been doing it wrong, Kent. I have no idea.
Yeah,
You ever just take
Eat it like a bowl?
Yeah.
Vegetable peeler.
But at the same
to
time, I
outside.
was going to
That
say
sounds
it's a
way
tier
better.
2 because it's not one I desire, but it's one that I'm like, yeah, sure, put a kiwi in that. I have no problem with that.
Consensus tier 2.
Next up, apricots.
Turkey.
No, it was apricot.
Apricots.
No,
This is
turkey
not the
grows
Thanksgiving.
22% of the
place.
world's total.
Yeah.
The word apricot comes from the Latin word precocus,
I'm loving this
meaning
show.
earlier ripening.
First time Joel swore on the show.
And this is another one that the Chinese associate with education and medicine. In fact, the apricot kernels has been a component of traditional Chinese medicine.
What's a kernel?
It's
the pit.
it's inside the pit, I believe.
Okay. Within the pit.
The soul of the apricot.
Another fun fact about apricots: U.S. Marines consider it exceptionally bad luck to eat or possess apricots, especially near tank.
Because it's like a bomb.
It's been documented at least since the Vietnam War.
Bad luck.
They say it started back in World War II, but they actually don't even like to say the name, so they call them cots, forbidden fruit, or a fruit.
Wow.
Interesting.
So there you go. Don't eat apricots near a tank.
So I grew up with an apricot tree at my parents' house.
When
Popcorn popping. Sorry.
We both went
so
there.
localized.
Both went there.
We had to.
Their blossoms really do look like popcorn. It's quite beautiful. But having them like straight off the tree when they're sun ripened and warm, they're juicy, but not in a way where like the juice gets on your hands. It's really interesting. It's kind of like the Mandarin version of a peach a little bit because they kind of have a fuzzy.
I wouldn't know I'm a guy. What that means. Talk guy terms to me. What is it in steak?
Woman's playing me fruit.
That's what this show is. For me.
They also make delicious jam. My mom makes apricot jam
It is
every
good.
year.
Apricot jam is great.
And she sometimes mixes it with a little orange flavoring or, Joel, don't listen, a little pineapple flavoring.
Gross.
It's literally a favorite at our house.
great.
Ooh.
She gives it out at Christmas time. I steal it from her basement. It's delicious. So if there weren't a lot of other delicious fruits, it would be a tier 1, but it is a high tier 2.
I'm going to give this a tier 1. Apricots are delicious. What else can I say? They make great jam. They're a nice snack. They're fairly easy to eat. With the
Really easy to eat. You just peel them apart.
yeah, the skin pops off easily,
Yeah.
or you just eat the skin. Like it's not a big deal to eat it.
No.
I would take an apricot over an apple for sure. Joel,
As a kid, do you guys remember playing that game where they blindfold you and then you put your hands in the bowls of the spaghetti and they're like, oh, it's the dead man's brain.
Yeah.
And then they take this other one, peeled grapes, and they're like, oh, it's dead man's eyes. And then they give you the dried apricot and they're like, oh, it's dead man's ears. I don't think I've ever gotten over that.
Oh.
I've never
I
heard
have
of the
no idea
ears.
what you're talking about.
I remember the
No.
pasta and the grapes.
Yeah, it was ears or nose or something like that. It was like
Ew.
right by that. But I'm trying to remember if I've ever eaten a fresh apricot because I always get the dried ones, and I'm not a fan, and I don't really like. I don't really like this fruit, and so I'm giving it a tier 3 just because, not because I hate it, just because I'm like I don't really
Bad
see
associations,
I don't
don't
see
eat
the
them.
point of this. No, that's actually the dead man's thing. Is just I always remember that.
Is it
as
weird that I've never questioned dead man's eyes, but ears? I'm like, why would they put that in the game? Eyes, sure.
Yeah, but no, tier 3 for me. Not a fan of apricots.
Are they good or just chewy?
They're good.
Right. Yeah, to me, this is not like they have a decent taste, but it's like you're eating like flesh a little bit, where it's not.
You're eating flesh in
super-
all these. Have we not
but
established
it's
that?
like human flesh. Like it's like it's not
Oh, well,
quite
that's different.
juicy because
like
they're
cantaloupe.
they're chewy, and plus, like, you know, I think that's how the Joker got his scars, was from that pit, because they're
They
always
can be sharp.
so sharp.
You're right.
And I would say there's not as much fruit to pit ratio. That said, they're very easy to eat. I like dried apricots as well.
Yeah.
The jam is great, so it's right in the
You
middle.
just keep talking about the great jam. It's a lesser jam.
That's good.
Do you not like jam?
I'm going to eat strawberry jam.
Save it for the
Grape
jam show.
Or the jam
sure.
show? NBA jam, actually.
Not
number one.
apricot jam, though.
So yeah, it's
He's
a tier,
on fire.
tier 2.
Next up, let's go with grapes.
Since we just talked about dead man's eyes, why not? So grapes are technically a berry. So there you go. Once again, strawberry, not berry. Bananas and grapes are berries. China produces the most grapes of the year, followed by the U.S., then Italy, France, and Spain.
Why do seeded grapes exist?
Why?
would you eat
Oh.
those?
Well,
know.
because they didn't know how to get them like seedless before. Fun
Yeah,
fact.
we're past
So
that,
scientists
though.
have saved
We're
us.
past
Yes.
that.
Oh, that was the worst. But when you pop a grape in your mouth and you get a seed in the crunch.
Tier 3.
Although they are like when they make them into wine, they like having the seeds and the stems and the skin all in there because that apparently adds to the fermentation.
broth.
There's a natural yeast on the skin of the grape.
Sure.
That helps add to fermentation.
Delicious.
And in fact, 71% of the world grape production is used for wine. And then
makes sense.
27% is fresh fruit and 2% is a dried fruit.
Feet and grapes.
Raisins.
But Zach, why don't you tell us your thoughts and feelings about grapes?
I like grapes a whole lot.
Do you have a particular color that you like?
I tend to favor the green grape.
Yeah, me too.
You basic.
But I like them both. As long as they're seedless, though. Like,
Yeah.
The first time I had a seeded grape, honestly, I was like, 22 when I bought it from the grocery store. This is why I don't buy things, I guess.
Have you tried the cotton candy grapes?
Yes.
Are they scientific experiments or are they real?
They are real.
Like, no,
From
but
the
have they been
scientists.
cultivated
I'm
to
sure.
be
Yeah, they're they're
to taste like
100%.
candy?
100%.
Yeah.
Grapes are
Okay.
delicious.
It's an experiment.
It's a good experiment.
Grape,
Yeah.
grape juice is delicious. I don't drink wine, but I'd probably like it.
It's-
tier 1.
For these, I grew up a lot around grapes, meaning there was a vineyard that we worked on. My grandparents had grapes. My dad has grapes. I picked like the little purple ones and green ones off the vine while they were still a little sour, and that was always very fun. I'm a big fan of grapes, and I'm going to give these a tier 1. This is a basic, delicious, wonderful fruit
It's a tier 1.
without seeds.
Yeah, without seeds. Seeds are tier 3.
Yeah.
But it's
But I think most often you have them seedless.
yeah.
So,
But it is a little weird though because you always pick like your vine. You kind of feel like, oh, look at me! I've got a vine, like a little tiny vine.
feel so
of grapes.
fancy.
And you're eating the grapes, and there's always the 2 grapes that you avoid that are stuck on there.
Like,
You're like, oh, good grapes. Please don't touch those.
Those are bad grapes.
They're the mutants. Like we don't want those around.
Well,
Yeah,
and grapes
that's
are also
true.
that sign of luxury when like someone's feeding you grapes
Yeah.
off the big cluster there. That's cool.
But yeah, they just pop them in your mouth. Tier 1.
yeah.
Yeah, we eat bowls of grapes at our house. I will eat an entire meal of grapes and
That's not a
Cheese.
meal. Unless you're a female, apparently.
yeah, it is. It's a meal. When I'm pregnant, it's a meal. They are so good. I prefer the big the green globes.
Yeah.
They are crisp.
Me too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you get that bite just right, it kind of just goes in your mouth.
so good. Tier 1. Top tier 1.
consensus tier 1.
Yay, grapes.
Yay, grapes.
Grape.
They're grape.
Next up, cherries.
Turkey is the winner here, producing 20% of the world's total. And then you get United States and Chile also do a lot of them too. Cherries require chilling hours. That's why they can't grow in tropical climates. They need a certain time of coldness in order to grow correctly.
Cherries and
Me
chill.
too.
Yeah, and cherries and chill. I give these a tier 1. I love cherries. Cherry flavoring, like strawberries and cherry, the red flavors that you get in candies and drinks, those are always like the best ones. And my grandpa had a cherry tree growing up. We just kind of pick them right off the tree and eat them and then spit out the pits in the ground. This is one of the few fruit pies that I actually enjoy as a cherry pie. I mean, they're so good. I want to sing the song right now, but I'm not going to.
Cheese my cherry pie.
My grandma had a cherry tree, and so I have a little PTSD because we'd pick cherries and we'd start eating them, and little worms
Yep.
were in the cherries.
Happens
And this
sometimes.
is very
Oh.
common for cherries, and you have to spit out the pit every single time. And also, cherries are disgusting.
What?
They're straight up disgusting. This may be my least favorite. I avoid cherry pie.
What?
Like crazy. Cherry flavoring in Coke, it's good, but that's about it. I do not like cherries whatsoever. This is probably my biggest hot take of the show because I think it's wildly overrated. I know people love them, and I know I'm wrong here, but my taste says I can't handle it. I don't like the skin. I don't like the texture of the meat.
This isn't like you're talking about pineapple. These are cherries.
No, this is my pineapple.
Wow.
I think of cherries, and I feel like I'm biting into a worm, even as thinking about it. And it's straight up.
Like sing half a worm.
Yeah, and it's cough syrup. Like, oh, what a delicious fruit. Cough syrup. Robitussin.
They made that flavor because it's a good flavor, and they tried to
Now
turn
they're
it into
like,
medicine.
what flavor can we kind of ruin, but it's okay? Cherries. Cherries.
Disagree.
Oh, I'm with Joel on this one. We also had a cherry tree, and my mom was pretty good at spraying them and checking them for worms before she'd give them to us. I say pretty good because it wasn't always.
Are you knocking my
happens.
grandma just barely?
Yeah, I've had some protein with cherries at some point.
Sure.
I love them. Delicious snack. It's a game with the pit thing. It's like eating a pistachio. However, I disagree that fake cherry flavor of things I avoid.
I love
And maybe it's because I had cherry medicine as a kid. gross. I like maybe cherry starburst, but besides that, no, thank you. But cherries themselves, tier 1.
Not far from where we're recording right now, my grandparents lived for a really long time, and they had a cherry tree. And it was not like, I don't know if you've seen the various colors, but they were mostly white, like half white, half red. And so when, we just, during the summers, we'd eat the cherries and then outside, obviously, we tried to shoot the pits as far as we could.
Yeah.
Spit them.
It's a game.
It's super
Back
fun.
in the days before screen time.
Thank goodness for cell phones. No, I love cherries. Tier 1 for sure.
Oh,
Tier 1.
sorry, everyone.
Next up, peaches.
This one, China, once again, blows everyone out of the water with 61% of the world's peaches grown in China. And nectarines are included as well. Because apparently, I learned this, a nectarine is a bald peach.
Yeah.
It's not fuzzy.
By the way,
Nectarine is a
nectarines
peach that shaves.
not on the show.
Yeah, nectarines are not.
Honorable mention to nectarines.
Very honorable
Especially
mentions.
white flesh nectarines. Oh, my
So,
word.
So good.
The
best.
Peach wood is considered protective against evil spirits in China.
Juicy, delicious. You can eat the skin. Yeah, there's a big old pit in the middle, but you can eat around that as well. You can eat the bottom of a peach. This is the queen of fruits. This is top of the top tier. It is so freaking good, and it's good in everything. Cream, milk, cobbler, candy. Peaches are fantastic. They are the messiest fruit, I would say.
They're very messy.
And you're getting peach juice all over, but
down to
it's
your elbows.
worth it.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Tier 1.
Tier 1. If you have not had a ripe peach from Brigham City in the month of August, go get them. They're peach days. They've got orchards. They're so delicious. However, peaches can be so bad so easily. You have to get the ripe good ones because 90% of them are just terrible. But when they're ripe, they're the top tier 1. Absolutely.
Peaches are so good.
Wait, so was that a tier 1 you gave it?
Tier 1.
Okay.
Yeah, peaches are so good. But peach flavoring, I'm a sucker for, like peach soda, peach candies, peach pie,
Haribo frogs.
Peach rings. Haribo frogs, Joel.
Yeah,
We'll get there.
Oh, I know. Jill doesn't like this, I don't think. But yeah, for me, this is a tier 1 to the point where, like at work, they make fun of me. They're like, I'll come in with something that's like an orange soda or something. Is it peach? Like, of course it's peach. I love it. It's great. Tier 1.
An orange soda is peach?
You can get Fanta with orange or with peach flavor in it.
That's what I do too.
Gotcha.
At the freestyle machines.
Mellow yellow. Peach.
There you go.
Gross. Absolutely gross. Peaches are gross. Hate peaches.
People are going to disagree with you on this,
totally.
right?
Yes. The thing is, if my
all
wife,
three of us.
If my wife puts peaches in a smoothie to help sweeten it, that's fine, as long as it's not the front taste. It's the front taste of peach that I am not a fan of. And in fact, I had a huge crisis of conscience fairly recently because I hate peach flavoring. I hate peach rings. Disgusting.
So
hate
good.
them.
They're covered in sugar.
But I love Haribo frogs. And then I read that Haribo frogs were peach flavored, and I just kind of sat there staring at it like, this can't be true.
This sounds
not
like
possible.
You've just conditioned yourself to say you hate peaches, but you actually like
No,
them.
I don't like the
Haribo
flavor
frogs
much at all.
don't taste like peach.
By the way, Georgia became the peach state
Yeah.
in 1995.
Oh, really?
It was not an original thing in Georgia. These have been kind of elsewhere, and they kind of brought them there. And then they said, yeah, we're the peach state. What the heck?
That doesn't feel
Bunch of
real.
liars in Georgia, like in fruit that's terrible, tier 3.
Do you know who else thinks that peaches are a tier 1?
Who?
Your wife.
And I
I
love
spoke
her.
with her today, and
Yeah.
I said, if you could have any fruit, ripest ripe every single day, what would it be? And she said,
I know.
peaches.
We've been
hands
to Peach
down.
Days a number of times, and I will happily
Yeah.
take her there because I know it makes her happy, but I will not be eating any of those peaches. They're all for her.
Next up, lemons.
Lemons.
India, by the way, top producer of lemons, and they were grown in northern Burma or China to originate, and then they kind of entered Italy and Europe and became part of their culture there, and then brought over here by Christopher Columbus to the Americas. They are slightly more acidic than limes, I found out.
Wow.
Yeah, slightly more citric
Okay.
acid in lemons than limes. And they are a short time preservative. If you don't want your fruit to brown, like if you cut up bananas or apples and you have a fruit tray out, spritz them with a little bit of lemon,
Brit.
and then they'll stay not brown longer.
Also vitamin C water.
Yeah. Oh, and you can bleach your hair with lemons. You can create electricity with lemons.
Yes.
These are pretty impressive fruits.
Lemons are a great complement for things, never
agree.
on their own. They're zesty topper for drinks, for salads,
Zesty
pastas.
topper.
Yes, for sushi, for lots of things. But have you ever eaten a lemon?
As a dare,
as a lemon.
yeah.
As a dare, people give them to babies as a prank. It's awful.
Who's doing that to babies?
I've seen this quite a
Zach?
lot. I'm going to.
Joel, have you done this with your children?
Oh, totally.
See? It's a thing. Anyway, because of what they do for other things, they're a low tier 2, but meh.
But think of the lemon flavor.
The
I
lemon
will.
flavor.
You said you like sour, right? This is
I
the
do,
sour flavor.
But it's not anything but sour.
yeah. All right.
I will admit, like lemon flavor things are good. Lemonade is good, but it just on its own, it's fine. I don't love
amazing.
it. It's good, but on its own, you just don't eat a lemon. The only time I ever have is when I ate these pellets that like altered your taste buds on your tongue
So you
and
couldn't
made
taste
sour
sour?
things sweet.
Yeah.
That was the only time I was like, wow, this is delicious. So I had to alter my taste to enjoy a lemon as it is. So, I mean, you might say a high tier 3, but a tier 3 just because you're never going to say, oh, I'm going to grab this lemon, peel it, and eat it.
Lemons are one of the few fruits where I prefer the actual thing to just flavoring. Like, I don't like lemon candies.
Really?
Lemon
I don't.
heads?
Like lemon heads?
No, I don't really like lemon heads that much.
Oh, man.
Wow.
But
So
a
good.
cold glass of lemonade, absolutely. I prefer my lemon flavoring cold, is what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So I'm giving this a tier 2 because I think lemon does add flavor to things. Like if you add a little bit of lemon on chicken, makes it really tasty. Lemonade, of course, we already talked about, but lemon is a great accent to things. No, I don't think it can really stand on its own, but I definitely enjoy the flavor more than a lot of these other fruits or flutes.
I totally agree. It's nearly impossible to eat on their own, but it does so much good for the world. And it is supplemental power here.
Good for the world.
It's good for the world. Lemons, except for, don't buy a lemon. But yeah, lemon flavoring helps with so many things. I was going to say almost everything, but I love the sourness of a lemon. And so it's for the supplemental power, it's a tier 2.
It's in the same category as vinegar, where it's better as a cleaner, and it's literally the name of a garbage car.
Yeah.
That's how highly we think of lemons. Poor thing.
Let's talk about lemon's cousin, lime.
India, once again, doing the top production for this one. There are 7 different types of limes that are in the same genre, including the key lime, which is actually grown kind of in the Florida Key area, which is where it gets the name from key lime. It's actually a different type of lime. And to
little
prevent
better.
scurvy during the 19th century, British sailors were issued a daily allowance of citrus as lemons, and then they switched to limes. And it was a military secret as to how they could stay at sea so long without getting sick, which is why British sailors acquired the name limey, which then became to refer to British people in general as
okay.
limeys.
Honestly, similar story to a lemon. They're a really good compliment in things. I like them on Mexican food and tacos.
Yeah.
But
There was a girl we used to work with to get like 17 limes for one taco.
limeade's good. Hot dog on a stick. Lime lemonade. All it's great. But again, on its own, I'm never going to eat a lime. So it's tier 3.
I like lemons more than I like limes. I like lemon lime drinks. That's good.
Sprite, you mean?
Sprite, yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause, well, also,
Sprite.
there's Sierra Mist, right? There's 7-Up.
7-Up.
No.
But
Sprite
I don't like limes as much as lemons, but I do like limes, like you said, the accent and stuff. Key lime pie is also so good.
very good.
Yeah.
So I'm giving this a tier 2 because lime flavoring. Well, I don't eat a lime on its own. It's good. It's good flavor.
Yeah. I think tier 3 because...
Lime Rickies. Ooh.
Lime
what?
Rickies are good.
Tier 3?
It's a tier 3 because a lemon, I think, gets the edge because it's used in more things. A lime is still good, like you said, on street tacos or
like
whatnot.
Indian food and Thai food. Lime
No,
is-
it's good, but it's less useful. And so if it's my tier 3. I'm sorry, limes.
Yeah, same argument as lemons. I actually wrote same as lemons, but more Mexican.
and green.
Yeah, but I actually
not easy being
I
green.
prefer the flavor of a lime to a lemon. So most things that people put lemons on, I would rather put a lime. So it's still tier 2, but like I put lime in my water and I like lime juice on things more than lemon.
I really want a street taco, though.
I
And a
know.
dirty
that's
Coke.
So good right now.
Yum. Let's go with mangoes.
Joel, I think you get to start us off with mangoes.
You mean the one that is mostly produced by India, who does 45% of the world's total?
That's the one.
Yep. Originated in Myanmar, Bangladesh, and northeast India. The national fruit of India, Pakistan, and the Philippines. That one? That's what
one.
you're talking about? It's gross. It's absolutely gross. It tastes like dusty, moldy flavor. It's not good. I don't like mangoes. I've tried them a number of different ways, and they're terrible.
Dried?
Yes. My wife eats dried mangoes, and I am not a
From
fan.
Costco?
Yeah, those are the ones, the bags of
Covered in sugar.
I think
Oh,
they're
yeah.
like $600 per bag.
Oh, absolutely they
They're
are.
super expensive. I just don't really like mangoes, never have. And I've tried them a couple different ways, like sticky rice at Thai places.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I like the rice, but I don't like the fruit on the rice. So yeah, no good. Don't like mangoes. Gross.
How does something so delicious smell like bathwater? It's like you have a mango in the room and you cut it open and you're like, oh, this will be horrible.
Musty, dusty, moldy.
But then you cut around, and honestly, there's not a lot of mango to pit ratio. Like, I never said it'd be easy, but the mango is worth it. Like,
the pit is literally hidden. In
it's
the fruit.
hidden. But if you cut it right, there are a few things better than a
You
delicious
have to take
ripe
a 6-week
mango.
course on how to cut a
You
mango.
do, and you're cutting your fingies
And then
as
you do that
well.
thing where you cut it and then you peel it backwards
Oh,
and it kind of
yes.
all pops out in that
Yeah.
little cubes
But
thing.
when you get it just right, I mean, it is so juicy and delicious. And just don't smell it. Just eat it. And it's amazing. And it's a tier 1.
the skin
Whoa.
can kill you.
Yeah.
That skin is terrible.
Similar to a peach, ripeness really matters here. I thought I liked mangoes, and then I went to India and had a real mango, fresh king mango, and those are to die for. They are so
That really
delicious.
brings out the moldy flavor.
You can leave now. We've got this. No, delicious. I also love the dried mangoes because you can't get them here very often. It got bumped down to a tier 2, but if I could have fresh mangoes every day, I would.
I'm allergic to mango.
Good on you.
Makes my chest all red and itchy, my neck all red and itchy. I will
Those are just ingrown hairs, Zach.
I will struggle to breathe if I eat too much of it. But bad. You said,
but it's a
you said
risk.
there to die for, and I agree. I will risk my life.
Please don't.
To eat a mango.
Please don't.
Tier 1.
Oh,
what?
gosh.
And he did on our road trip. I had a bag of dried mango, and he reached over and took one, and I looked at
They're
him.
the thing that I know will probably kill me.
No.
because
He
I,
takes a pill.
Death by mango.
I really like them, and I'm worth risking the allergy.
No.
Wow.
It's worth it.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
So good. Let's go with honeydew next.
Honeydew is actually the American name for the white Antabis cultivar, which has been grown for many years in southern France and Algeria. And this is the green one, in the green chunks in the fruit
basically it.
salad. You got the orange one, cantaloupe, rotting flesh,
Yeah.
and the green chunks.
Yeah.
Honey, do you want to throw this out?
Jeez.
Because honeydew is good for nothing. There's never been a good honeydew. Like, we talk about these fruits being ripe and in season. What's a honeydew? It's a diet cantaloupe. It's so boring. Get rid of it. It's a tier 3. Roll it on down the hill.
I agree. Tier 3, gross, no thanks. Barely above a cantaloupe, more like med-dew. Am I right?
Oh my gosh.
However, I put this out to some of my coworkers recently, and they said honeydew is better if you salt it. If you add a little...
I've heard that with some fruits.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that was that spicy tamarind or something like that on there. Where yeah,
So I've never tried
Change
it
the
like that.
taste and it's okay.
add a lot of ketchup and you won't taste the fish.
I think a freshly cut ripe honeydew is very good. We had them on the salad bar at Sizzler. We'd cut them into little slices and put them out there. Here's the problem. They had about a 15-minute window that they were good. And then if you, if they were out there for, I don't know, maybe an hour or two, you bring them back in, you put them in the fridge overnight, then they're already sliced. You put them back out there. That is that dead, rotting flesh smell that Joel talks about with cantaloupe. They get funky and not good at all. They ruin fruit salads all the time through tier 3.
I'm disagreeing with everyone at this table. I absolutely really like honeydew.
What?
Really?
Oh yeah.
But you
that's
hate cantaloupe.
Oh yeah, cantaloupe is the worst. Like, I will go through that little fruit salad and I will push all the stupid flesh colored ones off to the side, and all the green crisp looking ones, I pop those in my mouth, and I love the taste of honeydew. I was gonna put this as a tier 1. It was in my tier 1s. And then it got
Joel,
bumped
we don't
out.
know you
it is
at all.
so much better than cantaloupe. By the way, guys, if you want to know how to find a good honeydew, it should feel heavy for its size and have a waxy rather than fuzzy surface. That's when you know the honeydew
Same.
is ripe and ready.
All right.
How about plums?
True facts about the plum.
China grows 56% of the world's total of plums. They may have been one of the first fruits domesticated by humans.
I I think
I'm
plums.
plumb out of facts.
I think plums are rarely good. I had a tree. I used to try to make jam out of them. They were so sour. You had to dump in bags of sugar. They're just not great. They have a super tough skin.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the flesh can be sweet and juicy if it's ripe enough, but it's just not. It's not my favorite.
No, we didn't.
so-
I was going to say we didn't put prunes on the list, but they're dried plums. Does prunes? Does that change your thoughts on plums at all, or do you like them better dried?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Tier 3.
I love plums. I absolutely love them. I think they're a lot of fun. I like the kind of little, I don't know, more sourness to them. Always had red plum jam growing up instead of strawberry. And I will always take a nice, ripe, fresh plum. Tier 1.
Tier 3. What? Not a fan of plums. There was a time when my dad's plum tree had so many plums we had to go over and pick them. We had bags and bags of them.
Mm-hmm.
They're all around our house. And each time I ate one, I was kind of like, meh. This is not anything, really.
Yeah.
So, no, for me, tier 3.
This would have been tier 3, but I ran out of tier 3, so it's a tier 2.
It got bumped up.
They got bumped up. They can be sour and good, but only 20% of a plum is actually edible. And also the flesh inside is really membraney.
No.
Like, I don't like how veiny it is.
Does it have suspenders?
No suspenders. This is all inner workings, and it's a little weird, and they get a little messy as well. But it's a somehow tier 2.
Let's go exotic and go with the pomegranate.
Ooh, the pomegranate.
No more pomegranates.
Originated through the Mediterranean region and then was introduced into Spanish America in the late 16th century. The name comes from medieval Latin pomum, meaning apple, and granatum, meaning seeded. So
it.
seeded apple, that's what they call for that.
Juice rocks.
And in
what these
fact,
are.
the modern
Right?
French term for pomegranate is grenade, which is the name. That's where grenade comes from. It kind of looks like.
Is it because it has fruit shrapnel inside?
Yeah, exactly.
basically.
If those
Yeah.
things explode, watch out.
I saw a hack on TikTok that apparently you can put a bunch of the pomegranate seeds in a syringe and squish it, and that'll just get your pomegranate juice right out there. And people will just eat it that way, which seems like a good idea because pomegranates are a lot of work for a lot of fiber. And I don't
Yeah.
like that. Tier 3.
I think the taste is absolutely amazing on
Yeah.
pomegranate, but they are so hard to eat.
Right.
All those little seeds, all having to pick it all out. So I'm giving this a tier 2 because the flavor is amazing, but it's not worth the work.
Nope.
I like the flavor, but it's one that I will enjoy every 7 years, probably on average.
Because of your faith?
Yeah, that too. And I just really want to take the work and the effort that it takes to eat a pomegranate. The juice is good, but it's like you squeeze it, it's gone. You spit out the seed. It's a tier 3.
Yeah, so much work. Don't like the seeds. Is the juice different than cranberry juice?
Yes,
Does
it
it
is.
taste
Yeah.
It's not
different?
bitter.
It's way better.
I should try that. Tier 3. Let's go with pears next.
No surprise here, China leads the world with 69% of the total of pear production. And the flesh of the pear fruit contains stone cells, which is what makes them so grainy.
Wow.
They are quite grainy.
They're very grainy.
Surprisingly grainy.
Yeah.
Kind of like us. I don't know.
Well, for me, I actually don't mind the taste of pears. In fact, it's kind of this chameleon of flavors. Like when you get a fruit roll-up or a fruit by the foot, they say there's strawberry and blueberry or whatever it is.
Right.
But you look at the ingredients, it's pear. Most of the juices you
Weird.
drink,
I feel-
it's pear,
I
even
feel
if it's
like
apple.
when things are pear flavored, though, it's like very clear that they actually taste like the pear fruit.
But the pear,
as opposed to like an
it
artificial
kind of just
flavor.
adapts to whatever other flavor they put in there. It's like a piece of bread that you put whatever you want on it, and it becomes something else.
Sure.
So it's a chameleon of fruit, but I cannot eat these just the fruit because they are so grainy, like just gritty. When you're eating it, it's like you're eating kitty litter. And so
What?
Yeah, and so I cannot eat wet kitty litter, if that helps it.
That's worse.
Tier 3.
Yeah, these are fat bottom apples. And so they're a little
That was
bit.
my band's name in college.
What kind of music do you guys play?
Mostly harmonicas.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. The skin of a pear always looks like it just got into a fight.
yeah, they're always beat up.
Like, it's always a little bit strange. And so I look at pear, I'm like, do I want to bite you? It's good. It's moderately good inside. Even in season, I'm like, it's a pear. I think I like pear juice more than I like actual
Pear
pears.
flavor's fine.
So I'm going to give this a tier 2.
It's a mushy apple.
Yeah.
For me, so it's a tier 3.
I eat them like an apple. I really just will bite into them. I have no problem doing that. The tier 2, they're good. I still like
But you're
them.
still going to give the fruit that will kill you a higher grade.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. Yep.
Because the one that will kill him is delicious.
Yes, it will. I mean, yes, it is.
Mango.
Next up, apparently, is raisin.
Apparently is raisin.
Apparently, it was raisin.
Why are we talking about raisins?
No, because grapes and raisins really
You
are
like
so
raisins.
different from one another. Like all the times people say, I like
one's
raisins. or I
good,
hate
one
grapes.
isn't.
Yeah, but there's a difference there.
Not much. It's water. Water's the difference.
Water's a life-giving source, clearly.
Which I thought it was like, super easy, barely inconvenience to make
really?
raisins. Because it's like you take grapes, put them in the sun, boom, raisins.
Ronco's food dehydrator, yeah.
But apparently, you have to do like this treatment on them where you dip them in like some sort of solution that helps preserve the moisture, but also help get rid of it. I was watching this video about it, and I'm like, that's complicated to make a raisin. And opinion aside, in the United Kingdom, Ireland, New Zealand, and Australia, the word raisin is reserved for the dark-colored, dried, large grape. And then the sultana is the golden-colored grape, or the golden-colored raisin.
All right.
But then you also get a currant, which I see currant in thing, and that's just a fancy name for raisin. It's a seedless grape, a black currant grape.
I think a raisin translates to fruit scabs. Because that's what these basically are.
Which is worse, fruit scabs or wet kitty litter.
Great combo. Yeah, these are the great deceiver. We all know that chocolate chip cookies have long been ruined by the fear of raisins. Not even just raisins, the fear.
Oatmeal chocolate chip cookies are delicious. Oatmeal raisin are not.
But you always kind of look at it, you're
Same.
like, who is this person? And are they a good person? Because if they are, they put chocolate chips in.
What
here.
about people that gave out raisins for Halloween?
Yeah, so that's the thing. This is a last resort fruit because we all remember those little sun-made, tiny little red boxes. And when you're a kid, they're fine to eat.
Yeah.
But raisins in anything, it is contaminating the entire product. This is a tier 3. So gross.
I cannot think about raisins without thinking of the movie Better Off Dead.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody?
In the food
In the
that crawls off the
blue
table.
goop. And
Yeah.
she's like, I put raisins in it. You like raisins. I'm convinced raisins were developed by mothers who didn't want their children to choke on grapes. So they just took out all the water and made them so it would just go straight down. But they're gross. Why not just eat grapes? Tier 3.
These are the biggest obstacle in any trail mix and a tier 3.
What is wrong with you guys? Like
We're smart.
Like I love grapes. I love grapes. Raisins, I have to be reminded that I like them. Like I'll be like, okay, here we go. Brace myself. Take a little bit out of the box, shake it in my mouth, and I'm like, that's not bad. Like in Raisin Bran.
But it's not good.
In Raisin Bran, it's actually pretty darn good. I love getting a raisin.
It's the best part of Raisin Bran. What a review.
It is not acceptable in cookies. I agree with that. But it's allowable in cereal. And I think also, they're good. I think they're great in trail mix. That's like the good, sweet part of a trail mix that you get.
It's the part that helps you sleep at night from eating all that sugar.
I'm giving these a tier 2. They're right down the middle. I think raisins are good.
So
I enjoy
gross.
them. And they last forever.
They have lasted forever.
Yeah, you don't know when those were dried.
They made
It was
one,
centuries
They
ago.
made one batch back when they invented the
It was
elephant.
so difficult.
Yes.
And they've been using that ever since.
The worst is, though, when you get the one with a stem on it, where you eat that and you kind of go, oh, there's a stem on that one. But for the most
scab.
part, I'm okay with raisins. I just have to be reminded that I'm okay with raisins.
Shake it off. It's
Yeah.
time to talk watermelon.
Watermelon.
Watermelons, China, by the way, 60% of the world's total. Watermelon, once again, is a berry, just so you know. More than 1,000 varieties of watermelon in the world. First domesticated in Egypt in 2000 BC, but they weren't the sweet ones. Sweet ones came much later when they came into the Mediterranean and Roman times. Of course, seedless watermelons became very popular, but then recently they become very popular, but they were actually started back in 1939. Japanese scientists were doing seedless watermelons, but it's only recently they started
Thank
growing.
goodness for them.
Yeah.
I literally ate a meal of watermelon this afternoon.
A mealy watermelon?
Are you? Is everything okay?
I don't know.
Joel is the worst. I love watermelon. We've already gone through 2 whole ones. Seedless watermelon. It is a snack and a beverage in one. It is a meal and a dessert. I love it. I eat it all summer long.
not a
I
meal.
look forward to it. It's my turn to talk, Joel.
How is it a meal? How does that work with the whole, food pyramid?
It's got fiber. It's got vitamins. It's got your drink. It's delicious.
Much like a human being, 70% water.
It's basically salad.
That's a sell right there. It's basically salad. They should put that on the stickers. Slap that on a watermelon.
Good luck breaking into this. It's basically salad. Sometimes with
And
seeds.
similarities for the meal. It's just my favorite thing. Tier 1, top tier 1.
I know you two jokers don't agree, but I do. It's tier 1. I love watermelon. Even mediocre watermelon, I'm still there for. For me, it's the sign of the summer season. Weather's getting good.
You mean barbecue filler where the juice gets on the bottom of your sloppy Joe and sops it up? Thanks a lot, watermelon.
That's it. Tier 1. Joel?
So watermelon is one of those fruits where the artificial flavor I will always choose. Watermelon candies are delicious.
Sour Patch watermelon
Watermelon high chews? Have you had watermelon high
so
chews?
good.
Oh,
my
so
word.
good.
And then you get the
Jolly Ranchers?
Yes.
Watermelon Jolly Rancher. Oh, my God.
And then you get the actual fruit, and it's like, oh, did someone take this Jolly Rancher and dunk it in a cup of water and let it dissolve? The flavor is so diluted in the actual watermelon. And it's also hard to find. Like my wife's always like, "Oh, this is a really good watermelon."
Yeah,
oh, this watermelon's
people
good.
always say that.
This is a really good
Like they're
watermelon.
affiliates with the watermelon industry.
Well, and we tried to grow our own once, just in our little garden in our back.
Yeah.
Dude, it was weird. An old friend messaged me on Facebook saying, "Hey, do you want to check out this watermelon I found?"
Multi-level marketing with watermelons.
But
you should get on this.
It's weird because everyone has their tricks to figure out how to know if it's a good watermelon without actually eating it. Because that's the
webbing,
gamble.
the weight, how you knock it.
I was going to say, I want to read this here. A ripe watermelon will feel sturdy and have a resonant, satisfying, hollow sound. That means it's bursting with watermelon juiciness and is at its peak of ripeness. If the thwap is dull sounding or the fruit feels soft, pass on it. And also, you got to look for the ground spot.
The little yellow spot on there.
Like you want, like everyone's like, oh, I want a perfect watermelon, but no, you want like a yellow spot on it to show that it's a sweet melon.
But not a white spot.
No, if it's white, it's not far
flavorless.
along yet. Yeah. So, but watermelon is tricky. Watermelon is watery. I like it. It's inoffensive. Completely inoffensive.
I agree with that. Seeded a little more annoying, though.
Yo, seeded is terrible.
Yeah.
But I will give this a tier 2.
It's a tier 2.
Okay.
It's way too grainy, way too wet.
I wouldn't say grainy.
Yeah.
It's like...
It's almost a little sandy. Like you talked about wet kitty litter. It's
No,
similar for
not
me.
watermelon.
Stop that.
Can be
Just-
grainy,
Yeah.
but not
Yeah.
nearly as much as a pear.
No,
no,
it's
no.
because the pears
Like a
are
pear.
mushy.
Well, pears
and
are
Just let them
watermelons,
fine.
they're
Give it a
crisp.
break. But yeah, tier 2.
Crisp. Oh, they're so
Sorry,
good.
Babs.
It's like going to Vegas every time you bought a watermelon.
I also was told today to put salt on watermelon to bring out
good.
its sweetness.
I have tried that.
Salt, a little bit of lime juice.
Oh, put the watermelon.
Yeah.
lime.
If you put a little bit of chocolate syrup all over it and then some whipped cream and then add a bunch of cherries and grapes on top, it actually makes watermelon taste really flavorful.
Is watermelon the best candy flavoring, though?
It.
Strawberry.
We all got
Strawberry.
really excited. Sour Patch watermelons alone.
Mercy.
I would take those over peach rings, Haribo frogs, anything.
Me too.
Do you guys
Sour
remember watermelon Laffy Taffies where it was like red and it had the little black candy
yeah.
that looked like
the,
seeds?
The Laffy Taffies.
So
or the
good.
Tangy Taffies.
Tangy, yeah, the long
They actually
ones.
call them Laffy Taffies, stretchy and tangy now.
Oh,
but
man.
they're still out there.
So good. We should find those.
Sleepover.
Sleepover. All right, we're up to our final fruit. Grapefruit.
You saved grapefruit for last?
Why'd you say grapefruit for last?
I did it on purpose.
It's the most-
Oh,
well.
Oh, okay.
Well, fun facts about grapefruit. 53% was grown in China. Other producers include Vietnam, United States, and Mexico. It was a natural hybrid, meaning it kind of just accidentally happened. They had the sweet orange and they had the pomelo, and then they were introduced into this kind of same environment. And
So
they
when a
started
sweet orange and a
cross-pollinating.
pomelo love each other very much.
They become grapefruit. In
Okay.
1814, naturalist John Lunan published the term grapefruit to describe the citrus plant known as grapefruit. And he said they named it that because its similarity to the taste in grapes. Do you guys taste any similarity
No,
between grapes
not at all.
and grapefruit?
So bitter, so sour.
Yeah. But you got to watch out with grapefruit. It will interact negatively or reduce the effectiveness of many drugs.
Many medications.
A lot of
especially
medications.
blood pressure
Yeah.
and
It says on the back,
altering.
like, don't eat with grapefruit juice. And I'm like, no, that's not a problem because I don't like it.
So they could send a grapefruit with the pineapple drug trade, cancel
Yes.
itself out.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's how we end the drug trade.
Well, I will say that I've tried to spend my adult life exploring the foods that I thought I didn't like. You know, you grow up thinking, oh, I don't like, I don't know, onions. And you're like, oh, they're really good at things. It's, I think, well documented on the show. I don't really like cream cheese. I don't like cottage cheese. I keep trying these things just in case. Well, when I was a kid, my parents got Winder Dairy, the milk delivery, and they
Delivery.
would give us a sample of a bunch of different juices they also had. And so we would, we'd drink some of the small juices. The last one was grapefruit juice. And I asked my parents, hey, can I have this? And they laughed at me and said, sure, but you have to drink it over here in front of us.
Yep.
We want to see. I'm like, what's that about? All right, I'll try it. I take one drink and I go, blah, and make a nasty face. And I've never changed my opinion. Grapefruit's terrible. I hate it so much. Tier 3.
So, Zach, I have a similar story where I would go up to my dad. I was probably a young lad of 6 or 7, maybe younger. I don't know. But I walked up to him and I said, what you drinking? My dad says, grapefruit juice. And in my mind, I'm thinking grape fruit juice.
Yeah.
And I said, I would like some of that. And he's like, no, you don't understand. It's grapefruit juice. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Grape fruit juice.
Fruit, delicious.
I know what this is, Dad. I like grapes. So he says, okay, take a swig of it. I did. And it was like, you ever brushed your teeth while drinking orange juice? Because that's what it's like. It is acidic and bitter and terrible. I do not like grapefruit. And then they say, oh, yeah, just dump a half pound of sugar on it and it might actually taste good.
Some people do salt.
And it doesn't help.
Right.
Because it just makes it worse. Because then you get down to that bitter awfulness. Now, occasionally, if the grapefruit's in a juice with other things, it might be tolerable, but I will never eat a grapefruit on its own. Tier 3.
This is like a Clorox flavored orange. Like the same thing. I'd come downstairs, and thankfully I never tried that juice. But I remember like my mom eating with a sharp spoon, eating a grapefruit every morning. I think it aged her 27 years in one morning because that's what grapefruit does to you. This is tier 3, hard to swallow. Hey, Babs.
When I was a child,
I thought we all have stories of grapefruit.
When I was a child,
Being scarred as children.
yes. I had a great uncle who would ship us a big box of fresh oranges and grapefruit as a Christmas present. And they were from whatever country you probably said they were from.
Yes, probably China.
Yes. And my grandmother would take these grapefruit and she would peel them and she would get the segments. She would peel the skin off and we would have it Christmas morning. These grapefruit were not bitter because the skin was gone and the seeds were gone. They were sweet and sour.
I think you were eating an orange.
It was delicious, and you were all monsters. I know how much you hate grapefruit based on the breakfast food show, so I brought you some.
What? Wait, what?
You know how patrons bring you presents sometimes?
Oh, no.
This
But
is
good
not
ones.
a present.
Do we have to eat it?
Okay, so friends, grapefruit is not great to eat like as a straight grapefruit from the grocery store. But if you go into like where they have the refrigerated salad dressings and things like that, you will find either little cups or a big tub.
Sure.
A tub of grapefruit put up by Del Monte. They have the no sugar added. Don't get that one. Get the one in extra light syrup. And it is delicious. Does it have a little bit of bitterness sometimes? Maybe. Grow up, boys. So there's a little thing of Del Monte grapefruit for each of you. And just so you don't hate me, also some Sour Patch watermelons. Grapefruit, they're juicy, they're sour, they're refreshing. I love the juice, the fruit, the candy flavors. I think it's the king of the citrus fruits. I really do. Oranges, lemons, and limes bow down. Grapefruit is better.
No, blasphemy.
Stop it.
Thank you.
Listeners,
Thank
if you
you.
like grapefruits, shout out. If you don't, please be quiet because those of you not on medication, it's just so great. I cannot preach the good word of grapefruit enough. So,
Well, thank you. That's very thoughtful of you in a weird, sadistic kind of way.
you're welcome.
But Zach, trying to wrap things up here, what did we agree on?
We agreed on 2 fruits as a consensus tier 1. Can you guess?
Strawberries.
Strawberries and grapes.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Consensus tier 1s.
Those are great for picnics.
We had 1 consensus agreement on tier 2s, which were kiwi.
Okay, fair enough.
And surprisingly, there was no consensus tier 3.
Wow.
What?
We had 3 that
You
scored.
don't all hate pineapple as much as I do?
We had 3 that were scored the lowest: honeydew, pomegranate, and raisins. But Joel, each time you gave them a tier 2, and we all gave them a tier 3.
I'm a benevolent soul.
Raisins.
And then, of course, Babs gave a tier 1 to grapefruit, and we all gave it a tier 3.
That was so close. We would have ended on that one. But no, Babs, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we wrap things up?
Yeah, I want to shout out my sweet husband over here
Hey,
Aw.
what?
that brought Baconsale into my life.
Hey,
Aw.
how you doing?
And also all those moms and women out there who know what fruit really tastes like.
Because they're for you. It's for you.
This show's for you.
Thank you, Babs. Thank you for being here. And thank you for bringing this fruit show to our attention. We hope you enjoyed it, listener, and let us know on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter your opinions on the fruits that we tiered today. We want to hear your rankings. We want to hear your tiers. We want to hear your opinions and any fun facts or childhood trauma stories you may have.
What's your grapefruit childhood trauma?
So before we go, we'd like to thank our patrons. So the I Am the Listener category is Lady Terrier Finley, Shannon West, Chris Strout, Sean Sandquist, Jennifer Kielkowski, Braden Winterton, Alicia Bass, Glo Clint Daniel, Sir and Madam Hicks, Adam and Rachel Crump, Rocky and Steph, Scott Sprague, Jake the Cooler King Swallow, Andrew in the Dark, Casey Cummings, Johnny English the Brick, Ryan and Marley, and Debbie Foster. And from the Bacon Council, we have Nicole sitting in the Sin Bin Hale, the one, the only Chris Anderson, Stephen Everyone's Favorite Ross, Her Royal Highness Jessica Terry, our favorite couple, the Madsons, Bacon Council member Kyler, Beaker, Pants, Josh, and Allison Gall. Patrons, you're very sweet.
You
Thank
are
you
the
very much.
seedless to our grapes, and we appreciate you. But if you want to find me, you can find me at 76Joel on Twitter. You can find me performing with Quickwits. They perform at the Midvale Performing Arts Center. For more details, go to qwcomedy.com or go to the Quickwits Facebook page.
If you want to find me at Twitter and Instagram, you can find me at Kenny3DD. You can read my movie reviews at ShowtimeShowdown.com.
If you'd like to connect with me, you can do so at Twitter and Instagram at Tumbling Mustard. But more importantly, make sure you're following Baconsale. Please like that Facebook page and visit at Baconsale on Twitter and Instagram. While you're doing that, stop by tpublic.com/Baconsale, where you can get yourself a t-shirt or a sticker. We really should just put stickers out into the world. Stick it on like random street signs.
Or fruit.
Yeah, or fruit. Yes, although some of us might eat it. And then if you like the show, you like what's going on here, and you want to support us further, go to patreon.com/Baconsale. Support starts at just $3 a month. We oftentimes do essentially an extra, more ridiculous show. This one this week was fairly long, and we talked about a lot of different things and gave very silly presents to Kent for his birthday.
Yeah.
So fun.
Also, I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to find an extended version of this show with just a little bit more ridiculousness. Patreon.com/Baconsale.
So until next time, hey guys, good game. Good game. All right, come get your orange slices.
Hey, Baconsale guys.
Oh, that sounds nice.
there.
Wow.
It's a podcast. It's called Baconsale because it's good.
They saw them kissing earlier.
Ew. Well, since I'm a man, I buy my fruit from Haribo.
You bite
That's
her to a
selfish.
hot
There's
dog.
not enough strawberries to go around, okay?
Anyway, but I want to bring it back
You don't
here.
bring your own?
You bring your own strawberries?
BYOS, man.
Fruit is essentially a pregnant blossom.
That's
Cool.
Nut Show.
That is the man
happening.
show.
Now, yeah, exactly.
As a man.
We've already talked about ovaries and defecation, so let's talk about fruit.
You are not allowed to disagree with a pregnant woman.
They make me sick, and they make everyone have bad breath.
Acidity, though.
Banana breath is just the worst.
Rearrange the letters in Paddington. It's spelled psychopath. Where would the orange wear its pants, guys? It would be like...
Oh, right up to the name.
I love Cracker Barrel.
I was beaming.
It's beaming and beaming, just beaming.
Strawberry.
Is there any bigger lie in the world than red delicious applause?
So next time you like a girl, just chuck an apple at her.
But right now it's like bread.
Got
Money,
that
bread.
Why are we saying it like that?
Bread. It means money.
Bro.
Deborah.
Them, love them, love them, love them, love, 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 love. Maybe the first time you hear me curse on Baconsale.
Finally.
Yes.
If you're buying pineapple, you are supporting the drug trade.
It's my turn
rough
to
side.
talk, Joel.
It's a blunt instrument and a sharp object. It's a murder machine.
I kind of support the drug trade.
We have a cat. Things are mostly hairy that we eat.
But Christy, we can't elope. You're already married.
Have
Terrible
you ever
thing.
had a good one?
Good dead body.
They are the decoration for the salad bar.
They are. There's nothing worse than a fuzzy kiwi covered in ranch. Woman's playing me fruit.
Yay, grapes.
Yay, grapes.
Especially
Mentions.
white flesh nectarines.
Oh.
Same as lemons, but more Mexican.
Welcome to the show, Christy. It's past midnight, and we're doing raisins. Wet kitty litter, if that helps it.
Water's the difference.
These are the biggest obstacle in any trail mix. It's the best
Raisin
part of
Bran.
Raisin Bran. What a review.
It's basically salad.
Watermelon candies are delicious.
Sour Patch watermelon
Watermelon high chews. Have you had watermelon high
so
chews?
good.
Oh, so good.
And then you get the
Jolly Ranchers?
Yes.
Jolly Rancher. Oh, my God.
We'll see you on the Nut Show.
No.
No, that's getting cut.